All right. I think we're live. Yeah. Good. If you can hear me and if I sound good, hit that number 1 in the chat box. I think. I think that's good. DeSauce, Phase 2, Kelly, Jim. Okay, good, good. Looks like we're in operational battle station here. Okay, there we go. The one at the bottom there. Okay. Very good, very good. We are in operation. Well, how's everybody's days going so far? This has been very tricky. Very, very tricky day. Let me put it this way: if you're red, I mean, it doesn't mean that you didn't do anything stupid, but many of the best traders I know are currently red on the day. Very tricky movement where it acts like it wants to do one thing and then all of a sudden does the exact opposite. And then when you finally are convinced it wants to keep doing that thing, it's gone around or it's gone backwards. So again, if you are currently red, I am green, but I mentioned this in my community. I don't think I would feel very comfortable saying that had anything to do with skill today. Seems like it had more to do with luck today than skill. The fact that I am green, because it was a very, very hard day. And an example of that would be, even if you're telling me, well, Clay, I made money on the short side here. I mean, okay, but I also question, I mean, did you chase? Because, I mean, now granted, it did bounce back up a couple times and come back down. So that's fair enough. But there was also, this was one of these things where it just kept dropping. And if you're making money short side, just fine, I'm just going to get in. I mean, there's a high likelihood that maybe you're just chasing, not the best habit. Again, I'm not saying you were, because there were some opportunities where, yeah, the price bounced up, so you could have maybe played a dead cat bounce and then had it go in your favor. But then after that, when it did start to come back up and maybe acted like, what is going on with this? My screen marker is being a little goofy today. I want 5. There we go. But one of those things where then when it finally did start to come back up, it formed out a nice little bear flag. It broke the bear flag right here and then ba-boom, knocked people out. And then during this move here is acting like, all right, let's be strong, pulled back. So I can see people, buying some of these, areas here as support. Snapped all the way back down there. So it just knocked out a bunch of longs that were either playing this breakout here or trying to buy a pullback. Knocked all of them out. And then it came back down here to kind of this trendline area. Acted like it wanted to be weak and start to go down there again. And then you get the idea. It snapped back up, took out all those shorts. And now it's just a question of, is this thing, I would not be shocked at this point. I mean, because it is, to be fair, it's building out basically a little bit of a bull pennant. But I personally would not be shocked if this thing all of a sudden just back down it went. Is it gonna do a fake breakout on rollback over? Nothing would shock me at this point. So I mean, it's an interesting pattern right now. But do I trust the breakout? No, I don't really trust. I don't trust much right now. But yeah, I mean, where it is right here, I'll get that mapped out. Perhaps you see something different. You're like, no, I trust this breakout that's attempting to happen. Okay, well, perhaps you're going to be right, and I'll be wrong to be skeptical and not want to take this. But I mean, it's knocking on the door. Do we get a breakout, or is this going to be breakout and then, hey, just kidding, bears are back in town? So a situation right now, I just feel grateful to be green. Feel grateful to be green. As a reminder, if you've been here before and you know that you're going to like this, make sure you hit that like button. We're going for 125 likes today as the goal. If you've never been here before, welcome. Great to have you. Don't hit that like button. I understand you have no idea if you're going to like this or not. But if you have been here before and you didn't hit the like button quite yet, make sure you do that, please. Because at the end of the day, the length of the stream, the length of the party, if you will, is dependent on how interested people are. And I gauge interest via the metrics of likes and then super chats. So right now, this suckered in some long. Oh, I shouldn't say suckered in because maybe that was the right entry point. But right now, some longs bought. Now it's going through a little bit of a pullback. To be fair, it's not like this would be. I wouldn't think this movement down here would be knocking out any longs. But yeah, you got to probably think the longs are saying, please don't tell me I just got suckered into a move where it's now going to go bearish again. But again, to be fair to those longs, yeah, it pulled back a little bit. Unfortunately, not every breakout's going to be perfectly clean, perfectly, beautiful. Sometimes you have a little bit of rough waters. So nobody wanted to tell me, so was it that bad? Asked how people's day went. And I got one answer from Matt. Nobody else wanted to tell me how their day went. Like I said, if you're red, no shame. A bunch of traders are red out there. And who knows, maybe a bunch of long side players that just took that breakout are going to be either going red or staying red or maybe taking their green to red. Again, I'm not going to say that the longs were wrong yet to have bought that because, But, I mean, if it starts breaking down through these levels down here, I would assume at least disciplined longs would be, getting ready to stop out. Rough waters, definitely, but done for the day now. Yeah, I did get another account for the live stream, so I can maybe take some trades on that. But as far as the accounts that I quote-unquote care about, I don't think I'm going to be touching those. But yeah, I got a separate live stream account that maybe I'll take some trades on. But yeah, right now kind of just observing. Brian, Little Green currently not in a trade. Michael Martin, red on the day, but still hopeful. Yeah, like I was saying earlier, Michael, a lot of the best traders I know in my private community, they're also red right now. It's just been a tricky day as I kind of went through. At first, you almost had to chase, which, yeah, might have made you money, but it's a bad habit. Then if you, played a bear flag pattern, then that went against you. Then if you try to buy a pullback on the bull side, then that went too far. I mean, just a clown fiesta of a day. Now, for some out there, I'm this action is probably like what their dreams were made of. But been trading micros since the tariff announcement. Yeah, so you've been trading micros for the past, it's almost been, a couple of weeks now? So yeah, those longs, again, I'm not going to say that it's a losing trade for him yet, but it's got to be getting very close. And exactly why, I don't trust it. Just hard to trust that movement. Got the break, peaked its setup, act like want to be a breakout, and now look what it's doing. Again, they might be still weathering the storm, so I'm not saying that that strategy is a losing strategy quite yet. But as the price, and I should say if the price moves down through this area of the chart, at that point, I would assume that there would begin, that strategy would begin to get stopped out. Scalping, I don't even know if that was enough for a scalp. I mean, that broke out basically 70 up to, I guess 8 points. Is 8 points enough for a scalp? I guess it depends on your definition of a successful scalp. But that's even a hard move to say that the scalpers made any money on it. So, but like I said, I don't know. If this count comes back up, you get another nice little hammer candle here. Maybe that'll be the rocket fuel that finally gives this thing a good push. How has your trading been with all this volatility with tariffs? Yeah, overall it's been fine. Got a payout last week. I know I for sure blew up one account last week. I think was that Friday when I was talking about that, or Thursday? There was one day where I blew up an account and I passed an account on the same day, but I can't remember if I passed another account or not last week. I don't know. It's been fine. It's been good, but the account that I blew up, I was definitely trading very aggressively. Same with the one that I passed. So, in the prop firm space, blown accounts, casualties are part of it. But I was going aggressive. Oh, that reminds me. Yes, I want to do that on the live stream. Lock in day number 5. But that kind of gives a good little lesson within the world of prop trading, kind of a certain strategy that you'll have to do from time to time. But we'll see if we can get some more people on here before I go through all that, because that's an important little lesson. All right, here we go. Are those longs? I would assume some of them are now beginning to stop out. Now, maybe if some longs that didn't play the breakout, they're looking for pullback. So, yeah, I don't know. Maybe this is a pullback area. I could see longs now being interested to buy the pullback. But in terms of when back when the live stream started and I was commenting about, I could see maybe trying to play a breakout, but I don't trust that thing with the way the action's been going. So anybody that did buy that breakout, like I said, I don't know. I'm sure some of them got stopped out here. But people buying the pullback, well, right off the pink line right there, which it's done a couple of times now. So is the pink line the new area of support? That's kind of what I'm curious about now moving forward. But as of right now, again, this is a pretty pink line. You can see right there. Bounced, slightly below it, bounced, slightly below it, bounce, and then right here, slightly above it, and then a nice little bounce. All right, well, is this the breakout that's getting ready to primed up? But you know this move is going to potentially send some people on tilt, because the people that bought the breakout and then stopped out and now see this candle forming, oh boy, their mental space is a little sketchy right now, I'd imagine. In fact, let me switch over to my live stream account. Which one is it? This one? There we go. All right. And if this thing does pull back, I'd be interested in potentially play a pullback around here. Again, I call this my live stream account, and if you're not familiar, I trade through a prop firm. The nice thing about prop firms is you can do multiple accounts. So the accounts that I'm either getting closer to passing, or the live accounts, stuff like that, or I guess I should say the pro accounts. I'm not willing to trade any of those after today. Today's been very tricky, at least for me and a lot of other traders. But with this live stream account, basically the account that if I blow it up, I blow it up. If it dies, it dies. One of those situations. Good stuff. I'm staying away. Small caps are my expertise, but it's always fun watching the market act like a penny. Man, you're taking on so much unnecessary risk trading small caps. I mean, I think you're a crazy person, honestly, and I can mathematically prove that. You are a crazy person trading small caps with your own money. You are crazy. You are taking on so much more risk than you actually need to take on. So we'll see if this wants to pull back some. But yeah, beautiful hammer right off that pink line. I definitely still don't trust any of this to buy a breakout. But if it wants to pull back, I'd be interested. This area does seem to be getting kind of congested with buyers down around here. But yeah, I don't trust it enough to buy a breakout. Obviously, feel free to disagree and say, I fully disagree. I like the breakout for XYZ reason. I'm buying the breakout. I mean, go for it. Morning, Clay. You should do this more. I agree, Edward, but I've been doing this on a daily basis for over 2 months now, Edward. So I'm curious, how did you find me, Edward? Like, how are you just now discovering that I'm doing this? I'm curious how the YouTube algorithm works, because comments like that make me, I don't know if suspicious, or they make me curious. Like, well, I've already been doing, like, on a routine daily basis, even some Saturdays, been doing this for over 2 months now. And you saying I should do this more. It's like, well, I've kind of already been doing it very consistently. Do I know if there's any funded prop firms for equities? I hope not. Well, I still don't get it. Like, what would be the attraction to trading equities? Futures trade so much better. Even for the people that are like, I like to trade small caps. It's like futures make small caps look like paint drying. Like, I understand the reason why people do small cap stocks. It's like because they move quick. It's like, yeah, they do move quick until you look at futures. And then futures make them look like I said, watching paint dry. So yeah, I don't know of any, Evan, but I still don't know why anybody would want to trade stocks when you can just trade futures that make even the fastest of stocks, small caps, look like paint drying. Mintrell, me too. Happy to be here. Good to have you. Been following you, I think, since 2021. First time seeing you. See that? Yeah, that's weird. That is very strange. Oh, well, there's seemingly a nice little breakout here. Yeah, very, very odd that you've been following me since 2020. Or, okay, we'll just say 2021. And this is the first time that YouTube let you know that I was live. Specific opportunities and specific scenarios. To me, I don't know. As a former engineer, specifically a process engineer, that makes no sense. That just seems like an inefficiency. Like, why do you get opportunities all the time in futures? Why do you need a specific opportunity? I don't know. To me, that seems like an inefficient way to go about it, but that is just my opinion, and I am an engineer, so maybe I'm overthinking it, overanalyzing the situation. Because when you start to carve out, well, we have this specific situation and this specific, and then we have this, it's like, somebody that's put together like order work, like instructions on how to do things, like that's just making the book bigger and bigger. That's making the manual thicker and thicker. And it's like, no, we want to shrink that thing down. But hey, you know, if it works for you, it works for you. But I think a lot of people who justify, well, I trade small caps, and it's like, okay, that's fine. Like, I'm not disagreeing that it can't work for you, but the reason why you're doing small caps is because you want movement. But like, if you want movement, then you're kind of wasting your time trading small caps because there's something with even better movement. I've known you since the early Investor Hub days. I haven't been on for a while, but come back to see what you're doing every now and then. All right, so that would make sense, Edward, that you'd have no idea that I haven't what I've been doing. But DeSauce, that's a little discouraging that YouTube is just now, even when the YouTube algorithm seems like it should know that DeSauce is followed for a while, but now it's 2 months later, just now recommending. I don't know. That's kind of a little discouraging, but it is what it is. Got to just keep grinding. Let's say a stock is up or down 10% to start the day. Different ball game. No, I disagree. It's not different, but it's still not going to move anywhere quickly as futures are. Now, maybe, just maybe, you could be like, well, what about GME? What about AMC? Yeah, okay. Okay, so that means you're going to be day trading a stock once every 5 years. But besides that, and then not to mention the halt thing with the small caps, you get stuck in halts. And I mean, it's just, I don't know. In my mind, it makes zero sense. It makes zero sense. Hey, Clay. Hey, James. TD. How you doing, James? What are your thoughts about NQ this morning? Come on, James. You got to be here on, I guess, James, you got to turn on those notifications. I already talked about all that. To be fair to you, I did say I was going live at 11. But yeah, maybe I'll go over the NQ again. Up until prop firms, you need a hefty account size to trade futures. And small caps, you can start with little money and grow an account. But you're never going from small. Well, right, Patty, I fully agree. But the first part is up until prop firms. Well, yeah, prop firms are now here. Therefore, what you said after that is irrelevant. I agree with everything you said, but that first phrase made everything else you said after that irrelevant. Because in fact, what your first phrase said made everything else you said, like, it proved the point of your first. Like, yeah, you couldn't grow a small account before prop firms. Agreed. But now you can because, well, prop firms exist. So fully agree. Up until prop firms. Yes. But prop firms are here. They've been here. The Red Tiger might switch charts. You'll end up taking NQ again. That's true. That is a threat. I will say this one is a little bit, it's slower moving today too. So the price action has been tricky, but it's been slower moving. So taking an NQ in this action, not quite the end of the world. Prop firms want daily consistency, not a one-day opportunity. Right, yeah. I'm just talking more about the fact of but even a stock that goes up 10%, okay, yeah, it's going to move more than normal stocks, but normal stocks barely move. So more volatile compared to normal in the world of stocks is like send you to sleep if you're trading futures. Elon, good morning. John, what are the gray bars on the right side of the chart? This is a volume profile. I was just goofing around. I don't use this at all. I'm going to actually turn that off. There we go. So if you're curious, right here, it was just daily volume profile. But as you said, I was like, I have not been looking at that thing at all in my trades. All right, I'm sorry. Okay, we're getting a pullback here. All right, let's see. Again, this is very sketchy action. Oh, and I missed. Oh, there we go. There we go. Starting off with a quick little 75. I'm having trust issues in this market, so I'll take the small little scalps here and there. What are, oh, okay. Yeah, the gray bar is volume profile. Hey, we're already up to 25 likes. Not bad. Not bad. If you have not yet hit that like button, friendly reminder, please just do so. That's how I'm gauging the interest on these. All right, we'll see if we can get another pullback. Yeah, VWAP is right there and at a grandma. See what happens right there. Again, this is one of these days where this could very well just be a complete flush, and but like I said, this is my live stream account, so if it dies, it dies. But we'll see if we can get a bounce off this VWAP down here. You have some other congestion areas. Actually, what is that? Yeah, 105. Yeah. Let's see. Maybe I should be getting long right here as it forms a little doji at the 200 period, which I've talked about before as a key area of support. So cancel that one out. Let's maybe we'll go with a micro, and then I can just put my stop down here. What kind of stop would that be? About 20 points. So 140, 2 would be 80. And as I speak and do the math, it's kind of leaving me in its dust. I do need, I don't want to forget to do it, but I've got to officially pass another account, and I'll explain what I mean by that. In fact, I could do that right now. So I want to set up a little context here, just so you understand what's going on and what is needed and what you may need to do from time to time. So let me bring over this. Let's see. 150K, there we go. All right. So the context here of what I'm doing. What do you mean it won't work, Lance? Are you resetting an account? Were you resetting an account or just joining an account? Or starting an account? If you were resetting, you don't need to put in the code. Really? What was it doing when you tried to use the Clay promo? Can it be confirmed? Can somebody go right now and just, you don't even necessarily have to click the buy button. Just enter in Clay. Does it give you a discount? Wait, is the thing cut off up there? No. Oh, well, that sounds like it was that sounds like it had nothing to do with the code. It seemed like it was gonna work, but wouldn't take credit card. Well, yeah, I don't think I don't think the fact that it didn't take your credit card has anything to do with my code. I think you have to go to checkout before it shows up, if I remember correctly. Right, that's what I'm asking. If somebody could go to checkout, again, don't actually check out, but just go to checkout and see if it applies. Just checked, it works. Thank you, Evan. Yeah, Lance, I don't know. It sounds like that might have been something with your credit card. I'd say just try it again. Hey, Clay, I'm a member of your private community. Excellent. Just one question. Where do you get your pre-market stocks for day trading? What sources do you use? I just use scanners that come with the Webull platform. Well, then when I use the code the second and third time, no discount would apply. I don't know what's going on, Lance. Other people are saying it seems like it worked. I passed today. It's the 6th day. Nice job, Steve. Steven, excuse me, I don't know what you go by. Good job passing. Very well done. Yeah, yeah. Give it a try it again right now. Maybe and maybe try in another browser too, just to make sure that like cookies aren't throwing anything off. I should probably be getting along here, huh? 10, 10. Oh, let's go over here. And putzing around a little bit here. Let's see. Right at VWAP. There we go. Okay, took out one. Getting ready to potentially dump this one. Okay, I'll put my stop down there now. Got a stop location on it, so I'll follow this up if it wants to start to go in my favor. I already took some off for green. I'll leave it down there. There we go. Let's move this up a little bit more. So still could be a losing trade on this final allotment. Let's actually make sure it's a winning trade now. There we go. Going to move it up with it. Keep bouncing. Bounce for me some more. Come on. Do it. And out on that one. All right, well. Can we start trading on mobile? I mean, you can. I don't know if that would be smart or not. I know nothing about your strategy, but yes, you can. This platform here does have a mobile. You're right, it did bounce off the 5. Okay, so what I need to, and let me know, Lance, if it works or not, if it still doesn't work. Did anybody else try other than Evan? Did anybody else go to Take Profit Trader? If you just use the link that's pinned, and then again, you don't have to buy anything, but just get to the checkout area. Ah, you dirty rat. Well, see, that's what I mean. Is that's how I've been trying to just aggressive, move things up, because it was looking good for a second. I gave it a chance, but it did not just want to continue and just back down it went. Can you tem? I don't know what tem is. Samir, can you tell me the basics of trading? No. Even if I could, the basics are not, the basics are you want to manage risk. You want to make sure that your reward that you're taking is worth the potential risk that you're taking. And you've got to find areas where you have an edge in the market, areas of the market where it's not a coin flip. So that's the basics. I realize that doesn't help you at all, but I mean, that's why it's just like, no, even I just told you the basics, it wouldn't, no. Just do this. Let me, this will help you. Since you are clearly brand new, which is fine. We all start off brand new. Sign up for this, okay? It's a free webinar that I'm doing this Thursday evening. Obviously, anybody else is welcome to join it. There you go, Samir. Sign up for that. That'll get you the right framework. That'll put some guardrails in place. That'll be a benefit. Oh, let me extend this line out. So what I'm watching here is the 5-minute. Oh, yeah, I'll buy something at that trend line here. Come on, come down a little bit more. See if we can get a bounce. There we go. Can we get a bounce off of that trend line? There we go. Was that on another account? Oh, that was on another account. What account was that on? Whoops. Whoops. Oh, you got to be kidding me. Doggone it. Okay, that was on that account. So I needed to trade that account anyways, but that's what I was wanting. I'm still going to do it anyways, just to show you the whole idea of what I was supposed to do. But actually, I just made the trade on. So that's prop firms are great. I love prop firms. As far as I'm concerned, prop firms are a game-changing element. But sometimes if you're not careful, then you can do things that you didn't mean to do. So that was one of those situations right there. But all right. Whoops. I was wondering why it wasn't, why this wasn't fluctuating around. But anyway, so I made a quick little gain on that one. But so yeah, Samir, sign up for that. That's what you need, because that'll start to give you a framework to which you can work from. So anyways, what's the highest amount you made on trade? I don't know. Enough to make it worth my time. Enough to keep the lights on for my family. Enough to feed my family. Enough to have a roof over my family's head. I've been around since 2013. You are more than welcome to go through them myself. I'm not really the guy that's like flashing around a bunch of fancy stuff. I bought a tractor. So I guess if you consider that being fancy, I did post that on social media once. I posted a John Deere tractor that I bought. But yeah, I make enough to make it worth my time and to keep the bills on. But also, this is just one stream of many. I never tell anybody to go full bore. Never tell anybody make your goal full-time trading. I don't know any full-time traders. Before you say I know a full-time trader, please don't tell me somebody that's got a YouTube channel or sells a course or sells a subscription or anything like that, which I do. So I'm not like saying that's bad. I'm just saying, well, they would do what I believe is the right thing to do. They're creating multiple streams of income for themselves. But no, I'm not a full-time trader. I've never been a full-time trader. I don't know if it's even possible to be a full-time trader. I think the pressure would be too much. But the traders that I know that do and do well with it, they have multiple streams of income. Because when you have many streams of income coming in, it alleviates the pressure of needing to make money as a trader. Somebody was like, I did not know that, but Lamborghini makes tractors, or at least they used to make tractors. So people were like, is that a Lamborghini tractor? And I thought they were like, at first I thought people were joking. But I'm like, no, it's a John Deere. Like, well, Lamborghini makes tractors? I had no idea. But no, my Lamborghini is not a Lamborghini. It's a John Deere, and it happens to be green. Okay, so what I want to go through here and show you, I accidentally just did it, but I'll do it anyways. Lamborghini came from tractor. Yeah, that's what people were telling me. I had no idea. I always just thought that, okay, potentially is this a back test and go? Again, VWAP broken. Come up here. Is it going to back test? So get short there and go. If you're thinking of that, I would not call you crazy. Or, I mean, do you see if it bounce up here and then try to get short up here with a tighter stop above there? Again, this is all if you believe in the back test and go right now. No, Samir, I cannot. Can you tell me what's going on with the trade? Like, that question is so broad. I have no idea what you're talking about. Like, what you want me to tell you. Like, the price has come down. Now it's going back up. So I'm thinking of going short. But I don't know if that even comes close to answering. You're like, I can tell you're so new that you don't even know how to ask questions. Like, can you tell me what's going on with this trading you're doing? Like, just in a general sense, or are you asking something specific? I don't know. All I'd say is check out the webinar. Check out the webinar. Again, we all start brand new. Part of being brand new is not even really understanding how to ask proper questions, and because that question is very open-ended. Can you tell me what's going on with this trading you're doing? I'm trying to make money. In general, okay, I'm trying to make money. I don't think that answers your question though, but yeah, in general, I'm trying to make money. I'm trying not to lose money. Do you wait for, what would this stop be? Short here, so just look for a breakdown, then you put stop above VWAP. That's a 40-point risk. I don't know if I like the stop loss above VWAP, because not that far above, then you have those. What if you just above there, 80, 20 points, that's not terrible. So would that be 20, 40 bucks? Like I said, I'll get that line out of there for now. But there was the back test right there to VWAP. I mean, now did it hit VWAP exactly? It didn't, but there it is. Went up, back tested it, and going. For those of you that have been on the stream for a while now, you've heard me. That's nothing new. The back test and go. Okay, so what I need to do, and just to set context here, I'm training with prop firm. So a prop firm is this. Step one, I'm doing this. I'm doing Pam's Plant, which is if you are a day trader or you want to be a day trader, Pam's Plant is the best way to go about it. Nobody has been able to say that this is actually a bad idea. Everybody has said, yeah, this is a good idea because when you trade or when you day trade futures, which is what Pam's is about, explaining why you should do futures, but then you do it through a prop firm, which is what Plant is telling you about. As far as I can tell, it's been an undefeated. Nobody has been able to argue like, no, actually day trading stocks is better because, or day trading Forex is better because, no, nobody's been able to do that. I'm not even sure it's possible, but regardless, I'm doing Pam's Plant. I am day trading futures through a prop firm. So part of that is right here. So the way a prop firm works is you pick the purchasing power that you want. So in this situation, I had the purchasing power of 150, and then you need to prove yourself to get to the pro stage. So right here, the way they work is you start off and you got to prove yourself. Somebody said last week, it's like a job interview. Yeah, that's the way you could look at it. But you start off in the test phase, and then you've got to move into the pro phase. And then in the pro phase, once you start making money, you get to keep it, or you get to keep 80% of it. And then pro plus stage, you get to keep 90% of it. But the fact of the matter is you got to first pass the test. So what are the requirements for the test that I need to officially pass? Well, in this situation, I had to make 9,000, was not allowed to lose 4,500. And this test has to go at least a minimum of 5 days. So you could pass it in a couple of days, but you still got to, quote unquote, trade for 5 days. So part of the thing that I've had to do and the past few days, and today will be the final day. So let me bring over this to illustrate exactly what you may need to find yourself doing. You know, and so in prop firm jargon, this is a flip day. So what is a flip day? Well, a flip day is where for some sort of reason you need to get a trade on the record. So in this situation, because I actually passed in, well, let me just show you. Okay, so here's the book here, but here's the journal of that test. So again, I had to make 9,000. First day 2,100. Second day 3,192. Third day 3,790. So this right here, this put me over the 9,000 mark. However, how many days is this? Well, this is 3. How many days did I say the test has got to go at minimum? 5. So that means I needed to do 2 more days, 2 more flip days. So right here, you can see my first flip day, and a flip day is you just buy and sell something very quick. And yeah, maybe you'll make money on it, maybe you'll lose money on it. It doesn't matter because within the test phase, you've already passed. You just need to log a couple more days to bring it up to 5. So right here was my first flip day for minus $16. And now today, I need to do 1 more flip day, which will officially make it day 5. And then coming back up here, like I said, you got to do it within 5, or you don't have to do it within 5 is the minimum. You can take as long as you want to pass the test, but you have to at least go 5 days. So right now, because you can see right here, I'm already above the 9,000, but I need to do 1 more day to bring that up to 5. But because, again, I'm already past, I just need to do a quote-unquote flip day. So I've got to buy and sell something very, very quickly here. So after I do that, then this account will be able, whenever I want, I will be able to take this account from, again, the test phase into the pro phase. Like I said, you got to go through, those are the requirements. Very basic rules, but they want you to go at least 5 days. And then I know there's some, well, I know such and such can pass in 1 day. Yeah, that's true, but then they really put another bigger test on you. So before you can actually start to make money, it's like 9 days later. Where with Take Profit Trader, who you're seeing here, in theory, if you trade it perfectly, then you're getting paid on day number 6. So yes, I realize, well, I'm going to do so-and-so because it's only a 1 day pass. Again, within the grand scheme of things, with those firms, you may not be able to get paid until 9-10 days later. But with Take Profit Trader, you could theoretically get paid on day number 6, even though you have a 5-day test period. So Just one of those things that you kind of got to keep in mind. But so now let's go and do, and this is what I accidentally already did, but I'll do it anyway. So let's just do a flip day. So I got to go, what is that account? That account is 4555. 45. Okay, there we go. Okay, there we go. So like I said, I accidentally already did this, but I want to do this anyway. So what I'm going to do for a flip day, what you're going to want to do is find a very, very not volatile contract. So very, very not volatile, we're going to do the MNQ. Now, these can still move a whole lot, but again, all we need to do is log a quick trade. So MNQ, I'm just doing one of them because, again, whether I make money, it doesn't matter. I just need to make sure that I don't do something stupid because in theory, right now, I am up. Well, not in theory, just I am up that amount. So if I go and do something stupid and then let's say I lose $100, well, that's pushing this number down below 9,000, which means now I'm not passing because I have not hit the profit target. So I just need to, on this next trade, I need to make sure that I don't lose more than $94, which should be very easy given it's a flip trade, given I'm going to buy and sell as fast as I can click the buttons on one MNQ. So here we go. I'm going to go buy market, sell market, and we'll see what happens here. All right, here we go. Here comes a flip trade. Let me make sure it's okay. Ready? Order filled. There we go. So this number down here did not change. I got plenty of wiggle room. So let's just do it with an NQ real quick. Okay. Ready? I'm going to buy and bid because that way we'll bring up and we'll see what this flip trade actually. Now, don't ever do this with an NQ. I'm just doing it for the sake of this. Ready? But buy market, sell market. There we go. So right there, you can see that a break-even trade. Now, actually lost $5 with commissions. But point being, there we go. I now have day number 5 on the books. So tomorrow, that account will now be officially moved from that test category that you saw into the well, you don't have to do it right away. You can choose to activate them whenever you want. But so this account is now officially passed. So let me click off of it so I don't accidentally trade it and then put myself like in a failing position. That would be very not good. So that is just kind of a quick little backbone of just prop firm world, how it works, what a flip day is. And again, never, let me repeat this, never ever do a flip day with the NQ. Always do an MNQ or an MES or something like that. Buy, sell very quickly. So I just did that, like I said, because I wanted to show you kind of a new line down there. But never do it with the NQ. That was technically stupid, but given I had $90 to work with, I was quite confident, especially with today's movement, that I want to do it. Now, if it was like during last week when things were just going bonkers, that could have theoretically been, a bad move to just even as fast, because as fast as I was clicking those buttons, with as fast as the action was last week. So that is how that all works. You need to understand the terminology, Samir, otherwise you'll be confused. Correct, Samir, yeah. Yo, I'm from Nepal. $25 is a lot of money in here. Well, if $25 is a lot, then trading's not going to be for you. Like it takes money to make money. And that's okay. Like we all are different in our financial journeys. But if right now in your financial journey, $25 is a lot of money, then you have other things in your financial journey that you need to work on. Come back to trading. It'll still be here. But yeah, if you're looking at $25 as a lot of money, then, that's fine. You just gotta figure that out first, though. You gotta figure out in trading not only how to get more than $25, but to also be able to look at $25. And I'm not saying you don't appreciate the value of a dollar or anything. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying you've got to be able to look at $25 and say, not only do I have $25, if I were to lose $25, like it's not a big deal. But right now, if you're saying Nepal is a lot of money, yeah, focus on other things right now. Sounds of the universe. Good morning. Well, we have now. This is what's very scary right now. I mean, I'm thinking, do you get short down here? But I mean, you have so many failed. I mean, right there, fail. No, let me take a step back. If you're scalping, plenty of opportunity there to scalp from the short side. If you're scalping, plenty of opportunity there to scalp from the short side. So that's why I've been very scalpy today, because for the people that are like waiting for these things to just keep on moving, I mean, that was a nasty move. There is a fake breakdown move. There is a fake breakdown move. There is a fake breakdown move. Even right here was a fake breakdown move. So, Me shorting and then having the trade management style not be scalping, that freaks me out. I would be very scalpy if I even were to go short down around this area. If anything, I'd be probably inclined to think more so long down in this general area, just because as of now, that it seems as though the buyers are hanging out down around here, including right now. Once more, we have a long lower shadow. Can you trade options with this prop firm? Roberto, when I say, Roberto, let me ask you this. As somebody that's wanting to, are you, let me take a step back. When you say trade options, are you day trading or swing trading, Roberto? What category of trader are you looking to do? Are you looking to do day trade options or swing trade options? Nurola, how do you search for futures? Do you have a scan? No, that's what no, Nurola, that's part of Pam's plan. Like, that's an art. Stop scanning. Save yourself time and save yourself time and money. You don't have to pay for scanners. You don't have to spend any time scanning at all. You just watch the same thing every single day, because the same thing every single day is going to give you many, many multiple opportunities. So I have been telling people, start off with the MNQ, and then you could eventually move to its wild older brother, the NQ. But MNQ every day is going to give you a ton of choices. So that is that's just one of the arguments of Pam's plan. Like, don't waste your time scanning. You don't have to scan for anything. Just show up. Now, maybe you could trade two things. Maybe some people will trade the MNQ and MES, which is the ES is just the S&P 500. The NQ is basically caring about what's going on with the NASDAQ market. But yeah, no, that's one of the beautiful things. You don't have to wake up early to run your scans. What's the hot stock today? What's the best crypto? No, none of that. You just show up, no scanning. Definitely don't need to pay for money for scanners. Now, I know that the people out there and the companies out there that sell scanners, they definitely do not like futures. They don't want you to know about Pam's plant and futures, because they know that if you start to trade futures, you don't need their scanners. You don't need a scanner. Okay, Roberto, you are day trading. So what do you think of theta? What are your thoughts on theta when day trading? Is trading possible from anywhere? And what are the key requirements? Well, what country are you in? I'm assuming you mean anywhere like country. But yes, it is possible anywhere, assuming you have a quality internet connection. All right, we're not quite at 50 likes yet. If you have not hit the like button, let's, again, the goal here is to get this up to 125 likes. So if you are enjoying, make sure you hit that like button. Let's try to make a run up to 50 likes here. Ethiopia. Okay, well, let me check something real quick. See if Pam's plant would be available for you in Ethiopia. Let's see. Where is that at? Is it here? Yeah, there we go. All right, so we don't want to see Ethiopia up. Sorry, my friend. This is for Pam's plant. This is Take Profit Trader that I'm talking about. This is the country where if you see your country on it, unfortunately, they're not available to you. And my apologies, there it is right there. So no, Pam's plant, what you're seeing here would not be open to you. There might be some other broker open to you. I'm not sure what that one would be. But yeah, sorry. Pam's plant, I have no idea why, but not going to be available to those in Ethiopia. I trade 0 DTE, in and out for a quick profit. Okay, well, what was your original question? Yeah, so you're doing that because you want volatility, right, Roberto? You want volatility, you want movement? And you trading 0 DTE, I mean, clearly you yeah, okay. Well, I'm telling you right now, you're wasting your time trading SPY options. Now, I get it. You're trying to bake in volatility because you're doing 0 DTE. But you still have theta, and theta is a monster on 0 DTE options. Like, you better be right from the start, or you're dead. You're dead. Right, Roberto? Can we agree that on 0 DTE options, unless you're right from, like, basically immediately, like, you're going to get roasted because of theta? Do we agree on that? Can we agree on that? Root canal here in an hour. Well, if your tooth is already hurting on me, then that's going to be like the best thing ever. I've had a couple of those, and they're like the most glorious things because it's amazing how the toothache immediately goes away once they do it. Okay, so you want volatility. Have you ever traded futures, Roberto? Have you ever traded futures, Roberto? I'm about to knock your socks off. Well, Pam's plan is about to knock your socks off. And, okay, we're drop. Ooh, We're at these even lower now. Wow. Okay. Okay. No, never. Okay. So this right here is the low of the day. So when did this come from? Oh, from way back here. Or do you back? I could see a short here on the back test and then stop above, that candle right there. So looking to play a back test and go. But as of right now, this thing, I'm not willing to short right now because that feels way too much like chasing. I'm also not willing to go long right now. That feels too much like going long. But anyways, all right, Roberto, let me knock your socks off. You're doing all the zero DT options because you want movement. Okay. Well, let me show you the bare minimum. So on these ones right here, this distance, like, can we agree, Roberto, first off, that, like, if I were to tell you this thing hits this level and then goes up to here, I mean, that's not like a small bounce, but can we agree that that's, like, not a monster bounce? Could we agree on that? Like, that's not a huge space, like, on the chart from here to here. Again, it's not small, it's not tiny, but I don't think it's, like, massive. I don't think it's even considered big. Would you agree with that, Roberto? Okay. He does agree. So in futures, things are not measured in dollars and cents. They're measured in points. Now, the one thing is there are contracts. So like you trade options contracts or futures contracts. So this distance you can see right here is 1950 down to 19,000. So right there, that is a difference of 50. And things are measured in points. So you would say, oh, that's a difference of 50 points. Now, with the world of or futures, on this, per contract, one of these points equals $20. So 1 point equals $20 per contract. So let's just do some quick math here. So if we know that little distance there, which we agree, nothing massive, but that's 50 points, and then each one of those points is worth $20, that right there is worth $1,000 on one contract. So how many contracts could you actually get? Well, let's hop over because now we're moving from PAMS, which is the argument for futures, into plant, which is the argument for the prop firm. And on this situation, we'll get rid of that. And we'll just do bare minimum. So that for 25,000 purchasing power, they would allow you to buy up to 3 of those sorts of contracts. So you could have 3 of those on that movement. So instead of that movement, because that's just per contract, but if you have 3 of those, then we got to multiply that by times 3, which means that little distance that you agreed was not very big was worth $3,000. And you could have had access to that out of your pocket for $105. So for $105, you could have had access to that sort of movement. Now, here's the best part, though, is crazy things happen, and you know this, especially in the world of zero DTEs. But in the world of zero DTEs, if something crazy happens and you're not right from the get-go, boom, those losses can add up quickly. So let's say that you experience one of those movements where, whoa, I was behaving, I was disciplined, but that movement was just crazy, and boom, you lost $1,500. Now, in your world, you literally just lost $1,500 out of your pocket. In the prop firm world, you would have failed the test. They would take the account away from you. Now, you can't always try again, but as far as this is concerned, they would have taken the account away from you. But did it actually cost you $1,500 out of your own pocket? No. It cost $105, which was the cost of the account. So and this is part of Pam's plan here, there is the added risk control of prop firms because they allow you to protect your own money, because you don't need to put all your money in at risk like what you seem to be doing right now, which is, I think you're a crazy person, doing zero DT options. I mean, that is all your money at risk. Where if you lose that $1,500 that I just illustrated, that is all $1,500 of your money gone. But again, as somebody that likes volatility and wants volatility, like I said, that little distance I showed you there was worth $1,000 per contract. And if you wanted to go like, well, that's not good enough for me. Well, then you go to the other extreme. You could get 150,000 purchasing power. And then that would have been, you could have had 15 of those contracts. So that distance that, again, you agreed was nothing special. It was very modest. That could have been worth $15,000. And it would have only cost you to get involved with that $252. So do you see, Roberto, why I say that people that are day trading options are kind of being crazy? Like, it doesn't make any mathematical sense. They're trading things that don't move as fast, and they're trading things where it's all of their money at risk, where if something crazy happens, then yeah, sorry, that's all of your money. Not to mention, we're all human. We all go on tilt. We all revenge trade. We all force trades. We all have those bad days where we just kind of lose it every now and then. So when those days happen, Well, yeah, that's all of your money that's going down the toilet. In the prop firm world, yeah, you probably blow up an account, you lose an account, but what you actually lose out of your own pocket is just the cost of that account. Whereas if you've lost your mind and go on tilt with your own money, well, whatever the size of that hole is, that is the size that's coming out of your wallet. So that is why I would say just don't trade future or option. And like I said, on the other thing for you is there's zero theta. There is no theta in futures. Futures are much more forgiving. You don't have to be precisely right like you do right now because you have theta to deal with. There's no theta in futures. Did it bounce off that perfectly? Or did it adjust? Because as it comes down, that line is gonna move. Because that is the lows. Does that all make sense, Roberto? Same question. If you do trade options, does this prop firm offer training? No. I offer training. But what do you need training with? Do you know how to read a chart, Roberto? I assume you do if you're trading 0DT options. I assume you know how to read a chart. Is that a fair assumption? Okay, well then just use, instead of using the chart to trade 0DT options, use a chart to trade futures. Like I could lie to you right now. Like let's say I hit everything. So you didn't see these numbers over here. So I hid these numbers from. Come on now. I hid these numbers from you. If I did that, I could have, and you didn't see these numbers up here. And I was like, yeah, we're looking at the SPY chart. You would have no idea. Is that fair? If I hid those numbers and said this is the SPY chart, would you know that I was lying to you? Again, if I was like, yeah, we're looking at SPY right now, Roberto, would you believe me? Just based on looking at the chart? You wouldn't believe me? Okay, so tell me what's different about a candlestick on, or maybe you might have been answering the question, can you tell the difference? Maybe that's what the no's in regard to. No, yeah, okay. That's the problem with the delay. I'm asking questions and then, so I don't know what the no's in reference to. I don't know what the yes is. Did I ask 2 questions? Yeah, sorry. Yeah, now he's just saying, I don't remember. I don't know what any of these no or yeses are in reference to, Roberto. Sorry. But my point here is that if you know how to use a chart to trade stocks or you know how to use a chart to trade futures, a pattern is a pattern. A bull pennant, a bull flag on a Forex chart is the same as a bull flag on a futures chart. They're both bull flags. One just happens to be on a Forex chart. One just happens to be on a futures chart. He answered the way you assumed he would. Okay. All right. So, good. So that's my point is you don't need, now if you have no idea how to read charts, then yes, you would need training because, okay, let's figure out how to use charts to make your decisions. But if you already use charts to make your decisions, the only difference is you are now using charts to make decisions for futures as opposed to options. Now there's a couple of small things, which is easy. Like I already gave you the lesson. Like in this one, a point is worth $20. Which makes it way easier because on options, you never know what your profit's going to be because you don't know exactly how much the Greeks are going to affect the contract price. But on futures, it's super easy to calculate. If you get here at 19,000 and you sell at 19,050 and you know that each point is worth $20, well then buying here, selling there is $1,000 in your pocket per contract. I mean, whereas options, you have no idea. You have no idea because you don't know I mean, you can gauge how the Greeks are affecting things, but you don't actually know. You thought there was more to learn? No, exactly, Roberto. That's it. You just got to learn how much a point is. And like I said, I would start on the MNQ, and once you get that, that's it. But that's the math. I argue makes it way easier. 1 point equals $20, and that again, this is assuming on the NQ. I would recommend you start on the MNQ, just to get your feet wet, and then with the goal to move to the NQ. What with options can I use the Greeks instead of reading the chart? I understand Greeks better. Lamar, are you a day trader? To me, that sounds more like you might be a swing trader if you're trying to use the Greeks. Are there different increments for contracts? Yeah, okay, Lamar. So you're in a separate category. Pam's plant, what I'm talking about here is, that's what I try to emphasize, is for the category of day trading. So if you are a swing trader, Pam's plan is not an argument for you. I can see that options, if you are a swing trader or an investor, right, you can do covered calls, you can do stuff like that. Fantastic. I have nothing against options from a swing trading or from an investing standpoint. But in the category of day trading, options are pure garbage. Garbage. Yeah, and there's different increments. So that's the one thing you got to look up. But again, Roberto, MNQ 1 point is worth $2. That's all you got to know. There you go. MNQ 1 point equals $2. MNQ every single day is going to give you plenty of opportunities. Man, this thing just keeps bleeding, huh? Did it back test that? Nope, never did. So people that were, at least how I define the back test, right up there. So it got close, but never hit it. So yes, right. We have MNQ and then the NQ. So they're the same thing. They're the same chart. They just, one is more volatile. This one, 1 point is $20. This one, 1 point is $2. Now, if you want to start on NQ, that's fine. Start on NQ. But I would just say that MNQ is probably the best way to at least start. But then when you want to move to NQ, it does go up to 20. So again, they're the same thing. They're both the NQ. But they just invented the MNQs like 5 years ago to give people a little bit less of a volatile thing to trade. And I will say this, Roberto, so far I am at 100%. Everybody that has tried Pam's plant has come back and been like, you were right, Clay. Day trading futures through a prop firm. First off, they just say futures are so much better than, whatever they were trading. And then they just say, yeah. And with the prop firm, I love how my risk is insulated because I don't have a whole lot of money at risk in the first place. I would start at the lowest. Yeah, exactly. So MNQ. So 1 point would be worth $2. And then once you get that figured out, then yeah, try some NQ. What do you suggest about joining your inner circle but not sure about the membership? What do you suggest about? Well, I mean, if you already know how to trade, then you don't have to join the mentorship. The mentorship is to teach you like how to use charts to build trade plans and manage risk and get consistent. Like that's what the mentorship is designed for. But if you are already, like if you're like, no, I already know how to trade. I already know how to use charts. I'm just looking for like a group of quality traders to hang out with. Well, then all you would need is the inner circle subscription. I get charged the fee of $1.56 per execution trade. Okay, yeah. On Tradeovate platform, it's $2.50 to buy, $2.50 to sell. On the NQ, on the MNQ, it's 25 cents to buy, 25 cents to sell. Well, now we're getting some good movement here. This is starting to actually seem like a real trend. I mean, you have some beautiful bear flags that played out. So there's a bear flag that played out. There's another one that played out in a big way. Here it bounced up. You got a candle that would suggest a rollover. You got a rollover. Whereas earlier in the day, it was just not that. Like you look at, so check this out. I mean, you have this move down, and then you had a nice bear flag. The problem with this bear flag is that when it came down here and broke right there, it's like, here we go. Let's get some continuation of the downside like I just showed you. Like the trend we literally just looked at, that was those bear flags with beautiful continuation. Earlier in the day, no, that didn't happen. The price did the exact opposite and was just boom, knocking out all those people. And then you had longs all excited, playing breakouts and stuff. They got roasted because the price started to come down. And then you had longs saying, well, let me buy the pullback here. They got roasted because the thing went all the way down there. And then you had shorts starting to get back in because it was looking like this was a failed move to the downside. And then those people got roasted as it moved back upwards. So that's what I mean. If this early part of the day, like if this section of the day you were red, I get it. I was green, but as I was telling people earlier on in the live stream, I'm not attributing any of that to necessarily skill. I think I just made the good decision to scalp, but I would also concede that, yeah, there's probably some luck in it too. I finally successfully joined TPT using Clay. Well, how many tries did it take, Lance? Are the futures volatile? Well, I mean, Roberto, like I just showed you, how would you classify them if this distance right here is worth potentially $1,000 per contract? I mean, would you say that that's pretty volatile? That little distance right there is $1,000? Could be even more depending on how many contracts you had. That's what I try to tell you, at the beginning. It's like, you think your 0 DT options are volatile. Let me show you what volatile is. Again, that distance right there, small little distance on the chart, $1,000 per NQ contract. Again, at the end of the day, I would argue that for the $105, because that's what it would cost to get the 25 of buying power, which would allow you to get up. So the slower mover ones, the ones that you would want to start with, Roberto, you could get up to 30 of those. So, but let's say you absolutely hate it. Let's say it's the worst thing ever. Again, I have had 0. I am at a 100% win rate right now. Everybody that has tried Pam's plan has come back and said, hey, Clay, thank you. You were right. These things are awesome. So I think it's worth at least trying for $105. Because let's say you absolutely hate it. Okay, it's $105. I think you mostly short. Am I right? You are right, because mostly technically would just be 50.1%. So if something happens 50.1% of the time, then yes, mostly I short. But if your definition of mostly is like, I don't know, 80%, I don't know if I'd agree with that. But yes, I will agree that probably 50.1% of the time I'm shorting. So yes, per your question, I do mostly short. Do you trade live for real in your inner circle with pro accounts? No, I make alerts. I post. And wait, are you asking all this because you're trying to like structure a promotion for me, Andrew? Because I want to respect your time. I don't think any of these questions are actually coming from a place of you being interested in joining. Because if I remember right, you said your personal finances were a little shaky right now, which is fine. That 10 a.m. NQ sudden surge caught me in the fake bear flag bought held in anticipation of Trump's speech. That 10 a.m. NQ surge caught me in that fake bear flag. Okay, so you kind of just lucked out there. So you were kind of in, you had no skill. You just bought and it surged, and then you puckered up. You crossed your fingers, and it ultimately worked out for Erie Pages. So yes, that's not going to be a successful long-term strategy to continue to just get lucky like that. But I'm glad it worked out for you on that one. Assuming I'm reading what happened there right. Do you think we're going to close the gap? I have no idea. I just try to take it one candle at a time. I would not be shocked at this point if we come down. I don't know. Is that the gap close? That's just the previous session's close. Okay, we got another one of these candles. That's a nice little stop too. What would that be? Yeah, a little too late now. It was a headache, and Clay discount wouldn't apply last night, but today I figured it out. Well, what did you figure out, Lance? Like, I'm curious. What was the difference of how things operated? But don't prop firms not allow someone having multiple? Wait, what? No. What are you talking about, Erie Pages? That's one of the Pam's plant. Nuclear explosion growth with copy trading. With Take Profit Trader, the prop firm that I'm using and recommending, you can have up to 5 accounts. You can have 5 accounts, so you can make one trade, and let's just say that one trade is for $100. You actually just made $500, because if you copy that one trade to your 4 other accounts, well, you just made that one trade in all actuality 5 times. So I don't know what you're talking about being not allowed. No, they you can go up to 5 of them. Personally, I'm short 99.9%. Short bias, I never go long once per 500 trades. Wow. Erie Page is not at all. Okay, interesting. Is that white line the PDL or the pre-market low? The white line here is the low for the day. So like that white line is going to keep on shifting downwards as long as the price goes below it. But if the price now stays up above it, that white line is not going to change anymore. Come on, airy pages. Right here, man. Nuclear explosion growth, copy trading, Pam's plant. It does include the copy trading. It's right there. It's right there. Let's go. I don't know. I could buy there, add some more, and then just kind of put my line in the sand right there with a stop. So I'm at risk of, that's all right. Yeah, let's, well, no, not on the NQ. Not on the NQ. All right, here we go. I will do my first buy here. I'll look to add. I'll go up to 4. And then my stop will have to be below here. So I could get a nice score if I'm able to build a little bit and then get a bounce. But if I build and then it just keeps bleeding and I got to just tap out right here, then yeah, it'll be, I'm sure I'll probably be red on the day. Yeah, Andrew, it's if you want to learn to trade, then yeah, you want to. And the nice thing is the mentorship, if you just do with what's called the Trade and Freedom Pathway, that includes lifetime membership to the Inner Circle. Whereas if you just want to do Inner Circle separately, then that is a subscription that you'll have to keep on paying every 3 months or every year, depending on how you sign up. But yeah, the mentorship is actually a lifetime access to Inner Circle. And yes, when I say it's like, well, lifetime, what happens if you disappear tomorrow? I mean, I guess that's theoretically possible, but started the program back in 2013, still here. So, I mean, I've literally known traders now for like over a decade because people joined over a decade ago. They're still members because it's a lifetime membership. All right, here we go. Let me try another buy right there. Buy right there. So I guess I'll go with 3. And then I'll put my stop down there, right there. So there we go. Looking at build into this. I'll go up to 3, and then my line in the sand is down there at that level right there. I am trying to catch a falling knife, but this is also my live stream account. So if it does, well, it's not going to die because I have a stop loss, but I do actually like this, right? We have the area here that I could see it bouncing from. I could also see it bouncing from the overnight low, which is why I got my stop loss right below there, or just baboof, and I'll build a position and be out in the blink of an eye. But we'll see what she wants to do here. Do you ever have community? Yeah, we've done several meetups around the country. I think we've done 8 or 9 all over the country. Farthest east was Baltimore. Farthest west was Phoenix. Okay, here we go. Maybe. Actually, let's do this. Roberto, are you still here? Roberto, you still here? I can give you an example. Again, hit that like button if you have not yet. We're actually doing very well. What do you guys do during the meetups? We found the winning ticket to be Topgolf. And then usually people go like to a restaurant afterwards or something like that. Okay, Roberto. So what I'm going to do for you, I want to show you what sort of movement you could expect. So I'm going to do the bare minimum of volatility. So right here, what I like is about Pam's plant is part of it is the movement. Not only movement, but the ability to control it. So let me just show you the movement first. And if you don't like the movement, I'll show you the power of the ability to control it. And this is obviously for everybody that's maybe interested in futures. So yes, I'm in full-blown sales pitch mode right now for Pam's plant because I think Pam's plant is a good idea and makes a whole lot of sense. So what I want you to do, Roberto, is I want you to watch this number right here. I'm going to do the bare minimum. I'm doing 1 contract of the less volatile type of contract. So just one contract of MNQ, which you know is the less volatile one. So let's just, let me get one on. Let me get my stop loss down there. So right here, watch this number just to ask yourself, how do you feel about how it's moving around? And if you're like, that's the slowest thing ever, what's the point? I get it. I'll show you how to correct that. But right now, just ask yourself about that number. What do you think about that number? All right, let's make sure this is a winning trade now. So my stop loss is above my entry. There we go. Okay. Now maybe Roberto, you're like, I don't know, that was kind of slow. Totally get it. Again, that was just on one contract. So the ability to control it. If you did a prop firm, and we'll just do again, I'm doing the bare minimum of everything. So that was the bare minimum of movement. The bare minimum account size would be 25,000 purchasing power, which again would cost you 105. So that number one that you saw could have been raised as high as 30. But maybe you're still thinking, now I don't know if that would have given me as much movement as what I wanted. Okay, well, on the other extreme of things, you could go with the 150,000 of purchasing power, and that number that you saw as 1, you could have raised that as high as 150. Now, to be fair, right now, you could be pushing back and saying, Clay, I can do the same thing in options. I can do the same thing with stocks. If I want to increase my position size, I just buy more option contracts. Or if I want to increase my movement with stocks, I just buy more stock. Yeah, but what does that actually require? That requires more money from your pocket, right? If you want to buy more stock, well, you can do that and you can increase your position size, which is going to increase the movement, but that's actually costing you more money. Not so here. In this situation, for the 252, you could start at 1, which you saw me do, and you could take that number all the way up as high as 115, but get this number doesn't change. It's still 252. So that's the big distinction, is you can control movement size at no extra cost. Whereas stocks, yeah, you can control movement size, but you're going to have to buy more stocks, but in order to do that, you need more money in your wallet. Not the case here. So that right there is just what gives, in my mind, the edge so much for it. Why didn't I? I'm kidding. I did that for Roberto. I wanted to show him the bare minimum. Does that make sense, Roberto? Again, like I said, even if you thought that movement that you saw was way too slow, I did it intentionally, bare minimum. That was one contract of one MNQ. But you could have made that movement as much as your heart desired by increasing that number. Again, you could have taken that with the 150,000 purchasing power. You could have made that number 150, which would have made that number down there fluctuating very, very quickly. Very, very quickly. Ever think you'll visit Seattle? Yeah, I could see that being a possibility. I've heard Seattle's a great city. I've heard it's, yeah. In fact, I had a buddy who did quite a bit of traveling for work, and he said Seattle was like his favorite city that he'd gone to. Never been there, but I heard it's nice. That's right, Chad. Yeah, and climbing mountains with no water. Yeah, that's true too. Camelback. Oh, my brother-in-law. What a schmuck. I also recommend meeting up in Canada. We did get close to Canada once. We did one in Pittsburgh, so we had several people from Canada come down because, Pittsburgh was relatively close. Our most popular one was in Fort Lauderdale. Well, Fort Lauderdale, Denver had really big, good. I mean, they all have good sizes, but like the one that had the most, I want to say, was Fort Lauderdale. But that made sense because we did that one during the winter. So it's almost like people wanted to get away from the cold a little bit. Yeah, and the movement was, quote unquote, pretty good. I agree. For one contract of the less volatile ones, pretty good. Yeah, I'll take that. And as I just demonstrated, you can manipulate that very much so in your favor. I have been hesitant to become a day trader of stocks for 2 years now. This convinced me to go to futures day trading. I am planning to start today or tomorrow. Good. Yeah, no, I hear you. Very, very hard to get started in the world of stocks as a day trader, especially if you don't have $25,000, because then you have the pattern day trading rule. But as Pam's Plant illustrates and actually starts off with, that is the number one reason. Right there, pattern day trading rule, there's none in the world of futures. You can day trade as much as you want every single day. If you don't know why that's so significant, if you're a beginner in the world of stocks and options, thanks to beautiful government regulations, they say unless you have $25,000, you are not allowed to day trade as much as you want. A day trade being defined as you buy and sell in the same day. They'll let you do it, but they only let you do that 3 times every 5 days. Yes, you're only allowed to buy and sell in the same exact day 3 times every 5 days under the pattern day trading rule. But in the world of futures, that rule does not exist. All right, I want to give everybody a heads up. As always, I'm going for 2 hours minimum, and we have about 40 minutes. But in order for me to push beyond the 2 hour mark, I like to now have this at least at 100 likes. So we should be fine. We're 32 likes away from getting up over 40 minutes. We have who can do math? 32 likes to get up over 100, or $20 in super chats. So that's kind of how I do it. Either a combination of $20 in super chats or getting the likes up over to 100. That's how I gauge the interest. And if people are still interested, then we'll keep the party going beyond the 2-hour mark. But like I said, I think we'll do it no problem. We're already at 71, but just want to give everybody enough heads up. Got 40 minutes to either get 29 more likes or $20 in super chats. So here we go. Is this a dead cat bounce here? Oh, I like this. I like this. All right. Let's go 2. Sell. There we go. So tight risk. So not the highest of probability because there is the threat of just getting, stopped out because I'm not giving a whole lot of wiggle room. But on the plus side of that is it's not a whole bunch of risk. But if I can get filled there and then have it roll back over, relative to what was being risked, I should get a very nice payday. Do you suggest starting with the 50K or go straight at 150K? Always an interesting question because, all right, I have my stop in. So the thing with what size account, and I'm not saying this is right, but what I've been thinking about, and somebody pointed out, is let's just operate under the premise that you're going to blow up an account because everybody blows up accounts. Even the best traders I know blow up prop firm accounts. It's just part of the prop firm strategy. So under that premise, you're going to blow up an account. It becomes what happens after you blow one up. And with Take Profit Trader, you can quote unquote get another account, and the get another account price is $100. So if you start with the 25,000 purchasing power, yeah, it's going to be 105. But if you start with the 150K, it's going to cost you 252. Obviously, that is more. But if we agree on the assumption you're going to blow up accounts, then the get another account price is $100 across the board. So when you're getting another account for that $100, in my mind, it seems to make more sense. Well, if I got $100 and I'm getting another account, I'd rather get $150,000 in purchasing power for that $100 compared to $25,000 for that same $100. Once again, I'm still thinking through this. I don't know if that's the right way to think about it, but in my mind, it makes good sense when you consider that regardless of the account size, it's always $100. To get the account back, to try again, $100. So do you want that $100 getting you 25K in purchasing power or 150K? So like I said, I think it makes more sense to just do the 150K because if we're assuming that you're going to blow up an account because that's just part of it, then looking at that next layer, what do you want that same $100 to get you? So just something that I've been thinking about. I'm not, all right, I'll cancel those orders out as it has rolled back over. Are there any markets you watch that help you get into your futures trades? Well, I mean, the NQ is the NASDAQ market. I do keep an eye on the MES, or the ES, excuse me. The ES is the S&P 500. So it's pretty much like in the world of stocks, it would be like trading the QQQ, but you keep an eye on the SPY. So I do like to watch the the SPY of the futures world, which is actually called the ES. Start at the 25K. It'll humble you to not blow the bigger ones. I hit the like button. Thank you, Airy Pages. Noor. Looking at the charts, I also think that for some reason the patterns are more forcible than stocks. No, yeah, you're right, Noor. I would say that the charts, just because there's that many more eyeballs on them, because within futures, you don't have a whole bunch of choices. Like stocks, I want to say ticker. How many stocks in USA market? So yeah, when you include the number of securities, so not only stocks, but like ETFs, there's around 8,000. So when somebody's got 8,000 things to look at, granted some of them are totally dead, but like you're not going to have a concentrated enough amount of eyeballs. But in futures, there's not a whole lot to look at. So you're going to have concentrated amounts of eyeballs. And when you have that concentration, you're just going to have a lot of people trading. And when a lot of people are trading, it does create this nice smooth price. I mean, think about it. It is noon right now. Noon EST. Does this look like some choppy chart? Not at all. I mean, whereas if I pull up I don't know. You know, let's look at Nvidia here. I mean, Nvidia, you got some smooth action here. That to be fair, but again, it's just the money required. I mean, to get 100 shares of Nvidia when it's 109, that's over $10,000 you need, and that's only 100 shares. So if this thing, you know, with 100 shares goes from, you know, let's just call that 109. I realize it's not, but if it goes from 109 up to, 112, and you have 100 shares, that's $300. I mean, don't get me wrong, that's good you made $300, but it required over $10,000 out of your pocket to make $300 on what I would consider here is a very impressive move. I mean, that's a big movement right there. But if you look at that same movement on futures like we did earlier, and you watch how those points add up, you're going to make way more than $300, and it's costing you way less than the $10,000 needed to take advantage of it. So, yeah, like I said, I do agree in this situation. NVIDIA's pretty a smooth-looking chart, but it still doesn't beat out Pam's plant in the other ways where the capital requirements are just so much different. So right here, and check it out, that orange line there, the close from the previous session. It is it's doing work right now. So I am still interested, and again, no guarantees, but I would not call you crazy if you're thinking long around here, and then you got the stop below the overnight low. I mean, you have a very minimal risk box. Again, this is just my thoughts. I'm a buffoon. I'm here to entertain. But from here to here, I mean, in my mind, that's a very minimal risk box. But if you can like get the bounce up to there, then you look at this risk box. That risk box, much bigger than that one. I'm now flipping future trading statement for the person. And bigger drawdown, go big. Yeah, Andrew. Yeah, be careful with the go big or go home mindset. That's there's a time and place for that within the prop firm world. If you're getting, and I don't want to create too much confusion, but there is a time and place for go big or go home. It'll literally make more sense to do that. But the vast majority of the times, yeah, that'll get you roasted. NVIDIA is a large chunk of the NASDAQ. That is true. You will more than likely blow every account you own. Oh, yeah, exactly. Yeah, Pickles is right. Again, there is a time and a place for go big or go home. And I've done a video on that. If you're getting close to potentially the reset on your month, because the thing that you got to keep in mind is all these prices, I should address this, but you see month, that is only during the test phase. So you can take as long as you want to pass the test. I always recommend people get it done within a month so that you don't have to pay that fee again. Because after you go from the test to the pro, there is no more monthly fee. So in these two columns here, the pro accounts, no more monthly fee. The only time there's the monthly fee is right here during the test phase. So just something else to keep in mind. Thoughts on buying a pull-up station and occasionally doing pull-ups on camera while trading? I don't know what a pull-up station. Thoughts on buying a pull-up station? Oh, like these pull-ups? Today's push-up day for me. So, I mean, I've been at it. Let me check out. So here, I keep it. So here's my progress in push-ups. Since you brought up pull-ups, I'll just. So right now, today, after the live stream's over, I'll be going for 185 push-ups. Usually I get it done in about 15 minutes. Now before I started even tracking it here, my goal was to just get up to like 75. So I just do sets, and then I give myself a minute rest, and then I get back at it. So last Monday, I hit a record. I did 50 push-ups in a row. So then I needed over 10 minutes more to get up over to eventually one. Because at the end, like I'm doing like only 10 every minute with a minute rest because start to feel it. But yeah, push-ups. If you're looking for an easy way to get a good overall upper body workout, push-ups is where it's at. Push-ups is where it's at. We are getting a bear pennant here, but I don't like the bear pennant makes me nervous. Maybe you can already guess why. So here is the bear pennant that has formed. So we have the bottom part of it, we have the top part, then we have the move down. And then for you golfers out there, make it a little more visual, put the golf hole up here. So upside down pennant, which is a bear pennant. But what has me nervous about shorting any breakdowns is if you were to short the breakdown, you have a couple of problem points relatively quickly. Number one problem point, shorting the trend line break right there. You have that low right there, the previous session's close, which could provide a bounce point. Then you also have the overnight low down here. Now, if you're scalping, that's, the overnight low is not necessarily a concern, because if you get short here and it comes all the way down there, well, then this distance right here should give you plenty of room to scalp. But if you're looking for more of a plunge, I'm not quite sure the plunge you'll get, because it's got to break down through there. But if it can break down through there, you could be looking at a very nice plunge. But this right here, like I said, I don't like this bear pennant as much as, if the bear pennant had formed and it had plenty of distance before it approached either one of these areas. But right now, that would be my personal hesitation with taking any sort of breakdown right here. On the flip side of things, if this is how you're defining, I don't know how you're defining the top part of your pennant, but I mean, I would not call you crazy if you're getting short up around here and then a stop up above, just looking for it to come back down. Because then at that point, even if it were to bounce off that level, I mean, well, your entry point's way up there. You'd have plenty of wiggle room to work with. In fact, let me get that upper part of it. Again, I'm not saying that this is how your pennant needs to look, but that's kind of what I'm seeing here. How many people are in the community? I have no idea. Been around since 2013, so I stopped counting a long time ago. There's enough where it's not crickets. Like, it's not like we get like 2 messages every day, but it's also not too many where it's like 800 messages every minute and it's just mass chaos. So there's a good amount of activity. How many are per set? As many as I can do. And then I give myself a minute rest between each push-up set. So like I said, the first one I did, I've now built it up for this first set I do, and I'm totally fresh. I hit 50 in a row. But then after that, it goes like 50 down to like 25, and then usually 15, and then after that, it's basically 10 every time. So that's what I mean right there. That breakdown of that line didn't even hit the orange one. But that's why I'm saying I'm a little nervous for that. Now, if the price stays in here and then breaks down when it's up here, well, now it's got a pretty big distance to drop before it even gets down to that orange line. But right now, that orange line is just boom right there. Yeah, like I mentioned earlier, Ari, I keep an eye on the ES. Keep an eye on the ESU. Is this short? I'm not anything right now. I'm just observing. But yeah, I would not call anybody crazy for being in a bearish mindset. But as I just explained, taking this short right now, not my cup of tea, because there seems to be a couple areas that could all of a sudden create a bounce. But that's just my opinion. Maybe you see other factors that are like, no, I don't think these areas are going to create bounces. A false fear on your part, Clay. Well, then, fair enough. All right, friendly reminder, we got about 28 minutes, and I think we'll still hit it, but we're still quite a bit of ways from 100. So if you have not hit that like button and you want the stream to continue beyond the 2-hour mark, again, it's got to be either over 100 likes or $20 in super chats. I could see a bounce as well. Can you offer a lifetime membership without mentoring? No, because then that creates an infrastructure problem. I need monthly subscriptions because I do have monthly costs on my end. All right, yeah, right now that's what I trying to tell people. Now, shorten that line, me personally not comfortable with. But yeah, if it wants to come up here, then I could see, like I said, if you're getting short up around here, your stop's up above there. Can still not guaranteed to work, but I would not call you crazy. Oh, here we go. Here we go. It's just, what time? No, 12:10. So, all right. So right now, currently bouncing off the current low, which is what that white line represents. But we'll see. Can the bear? Oh, there we go. Bear pennant. Oh. All right. Whoa. All right. Well, shame on me right now. Shame on me. Good for you if you were like Clay. I think you're getting a little too hung up on those levels. I'm getting short. Good for you. Good for you. It's now down below that overnight low. Is it going to get more continuation? The bear pennant breakdown. Yeah, it uses Discord. Yep. Wow. Well, congratulations to those of you that disagreed and thought, no, Clay. I agree. We both see the bear pennant, Clay. We're in agreement there. But your concern about those other areas, I'm going to go ahead and disagree with. Hey, you were right. I was wrong. Well done to you. How long do you usually stay in your trades, Clay? Not very long. Not very long at all. It depends on the strategy, though. If I'm scalping, it's going to be, within seconds. If I'm looking to give the thing a chance to move, then yeah, it'll be minutes. But never hours or anything like that. All right, now potentially a back test and go. Is it going to back test the overnight low and then come back down? So back test and go. Is that what's now in the cards? That was definitely a violent move down. The bear pennant breakdown. I am going to leave that trend line in place, though, because I could see the back test of that. I'm going to go ahead and get rid of that level up there. All right, so here is the back test of the overnight low. So those people are filled. Now for them, it's just a question of, is it going to head back down? We'll see. Again, I'd be more I'd be more interested up around the orange line here and the trend line. But like I said, maybe this is where I should be getting in at right now. Get short there, stop there. So my entry point is the red line to get short, stop is the green line right there. So we'll see what she wants to do. Could be another short opportunity right now. Yeah, could be. I want to see it come up a bit more. Again, lower probability trade, because if I get filled, then that does mean some bullishness is showing up quite a bit. But my lower probability nature of the trade is compensated by the fact of if it starts to go in my favor, then I have I should be able to make quite a bit more than I was risking. Okay, getting close. Oh boy, I don't know. 5 minutes got me a little nervous. That was the move I wanted. It pushed up and now it's coming back down. Now if it pushes back up, does that mean that the bulls are here? And then I combine that with now that 5 minute candle is done. So I want to see how this 5 minute candle finished, and this finished as a hammer. So that had me a little worried if it wanted to keep, and it still does. If this thing keeps coming up, when this thing just formed a hammer, I'm going to have to go ahead and pass now. All right, I would have been filled, so we can at least paper trade it. And my stop would have been up over the 50 mark there. So yeah, I would have been filled. We'll paper trade it. We'll see if I spooked myself out. Well, I didn't. That's with that big old hammer forming on the 5 minute. I'm not going to take that. No. If you're going to sign up beforehand, just send me an email, Andrew. Yes, I know what you're hinting at, and yes, you should. But if you want to get started now, I'll still honor it. Oh boy, look at that. Are you really going to just bounce beautifully off that level? My ego wants this thing to explode, so I don't look stupid. But it would be cool to just see the back test work out beautifully. But my ego is like, please just go. Hey, the Strand. Roberto, I'm looking at many different time frames. What we're looking at here is the 2 minute. You can see that right over here, 2 minute. But off screen, when I look that way, I'm looking at another monitor that's got other time frames on it. All right, we need 12 more likes in 20 minutes. Or if Knight in Shining Armor shows up with a $20 super chat. But again, if you want the stream to continue, hit that like button and we'll take this party beyond the 2 hour mark. All right, we're still tapping. Are we going to get the... It's back tested this former breakdown point. Is it going to get rejected back down? Do you look at VWAP? And I do not use the MACD. I do look at VWAP, but VWAP is way up here. So VWAP is kind of irrelevant right now. So that would have been a losing trade, right? Did it push? No, it has not pushed up through there yet. All right, there we go. So that was a losing trade, and again, what kind of made me scared, and scared rightfully so. Nice hammer candle there that just formed on the 5-minute, and now you're getting some more push upwards. Doesn't mean that I won't look for another short on it, but as far as that original one that I had mapped out, that would have been a losing trade. So that's the power of multiple time frame analysis. Make sure that, because I mean, it still does make perfect sense here for what I was thinking. But what made it seem less perfect and less like it made sense was looking at the 5-minute. So you got to use multiple time frame analysis. Keep your eye on multiple time frames. Now this is an interesting setup here. Go ahead and get rid of that line, and I don't know, is this trend line here starting to get some sort of significance? We'll see here. I don't want to, yeah, that, oh, okay. Yeah, I like that trend line. It's actually matching up perfectly right now with that green line right there, which is the 21 EMA. I'm just going to take one because this is a pretty sketchy setup here. But so I want to sell. And my stop is right there. Low probability, but if I can get this thing to come down, I could get paid very nicely. And out. So, all right. Oh, now you're going to come back down, you dirty dog? So I'm glad I changed that because I was thinking about doing that with 2 contracts. I'm glad I changed it to 1, and I'm also glad I stopped out because that would not be experience right now. You're bullish now? All right. Well, come on, Roberto. Get the prop for him. Let's go. We don't need you armchair quarterbacking, Roberto. Let's go. Come on, man. Could possible double top, prior support now, resistance. Could be. Could be. I thought maybe the thing might want to get, like I said, this candle here. Start to roll back over, but it had other things in mind. But that's why risk management matters. Ain't no ego here. Been wrong before, I'll be wrong many more times. If you have a problem with being wrong, run far away from trading. Run far, far away from trading if you have an issue admitting that you were wrong. What's up with the news headlines today? I discovered last week, took a poll that people actually kind of enjoyed going through headlines. Kind of just talking about, we do have to check on the 10-year. What's the 10-year bond up to? Very, very important. Most important economic indicator in my opinion. Gotta watch the bonds. Bonds are showing how do people feel about the United States, and as someone that lives in the United States, I'd like for the world to look at us still as a safe haven, a place where when things get crazy, they can still trust the United States. Oh, okay, kind of, not terrible. So bonds right now so still very high, but yeah, because the higher this goes, that means the more bonds are being sold. And the more bonds that are being sold, people are like, yeah, I'm not quite sure that the United States is a safe haven. Right? Usually when things get really sketchy around the world, the US dollar goes up and bonds go down because when people start buying bonds, it drives the yields down. So the higher the yields go up, that's not a good sign. Anything else crazy going on out there? Let's see. Says U.S. got amazing tariff deal offers. Recession 100% not happening. Oh boy. I'm always a little leery when anybody, I don't care who you are, says 100 something is 100% happening or 100% not happening. Because that's like a guarantee. I don't know. Guarantees are always a little sketchy in the world of the financial markets. Roy, what's he worried about? I like Ray Dalio. He's got some. Says he's concerned that the global monetary system will break down. Our growing U.S. debts are contributing to new. Well, yeah, the debts. Yeah, we'll avoid that topic. Growing debt is not like that's not Trump. That's like the if anybody wants to Google, when's the last time we've had shrinking debt? I think that might have been Clinton. I think. So yeah, debt's been growing ever since I think Clinton, if I can remember right. Delio said fallout from turmoil and see right there the bonds. That's what I'm telling you. Watch the bonds. Could be a more severe shock to the monetary system than wow. Well, that would not be good. Right now, we're in a decision-making point and very close to a recession. Well, the one guy said 100% not going to have a recession. Do you see why I use charts? Because it's like, here one guy saying 100% not going to have a recession. Then you have this dude who's like pretty smart saying that they're very close to a recession. So very close to a recession does not seem like... That's why I just use the chart. Just got to use the chart. $750 left till I pass the 9,000 tests. Nice, Strand. Good job. Keep it up. Hi, Clay. One answer. I think you mean one question. What do you think is fine to do the way you do or the way others do in trading for a few minutes by... Hi, Clay. What do you think is fine to do the way you do or the way others do? And I think what's the best to do is what you feel comfortable with. That's the best thing to do. Don't do what I do. Don't do what anybody else does. Do what you feel comfortable with. And that's where you got to put an effort on your own. Like, there is no holy grail system. I don't sell, like, my mentorship is not here. I got the perfect strategy. No, I will teach you the tools and how to use the tools properly so that you can go and build something that works best for you. So I still got to do work. Yes, you still have to do work. I know from a sales pitch perspective, it's way better if I just say, hey, just buy my program. And you don't have to think. You don't have to do any work. Here's the strategy. Just you go do the strategy. No, that's not how it works. I am not you. You are not me. We have different risk tolerances. You got to, best I can do is teach you how to use the tools properly and then help you build something that works for you. So your question, should you do it what I do or you got to do what works best for you? I might get in next week. Oh boy. Roberto, you're going to drive me insane, Roberto. You're going to drive me insane. I just explained futures to you. Like, do you understand the points? That's futures. That's it. Check out where the NQ is now in my... it's kind of too hard to flip around. Let's see. What else we got going on? So this guy says recession 100% not happening. Dalio saying we're very close. Or he's worried about something worse than a recession. So I guess to be fair, this guy is saying recession 100% not happening. Because what he could be saying is the worst thing is happening than a recession. So I guess these people could still be saying the same thing. He's worried about something worse than a recession. And he's, So is he saying that 100% what is happening is what Dalio is worried about? I don't know. What do people think? Yeah, it's really that simple. If you understood the points, then you understand how to trade futures. Again, because your claim is that I already know how to use charts. Okay, well then go trade charts. A Great Depression. Okay, so maybe this guy's saying a 100% that depression is coming. Because Dalio is worried about something worse than a recession. Fine. And this person says that a recession is 100% not happening. All right. Well, we'll see. Any other interesting... More than 6% of CEOs expect a recession. Well, what in the world? One guy... Well, to be fair, maybe that guy's saying that, that's why I love the headlines. It's just... With time running out, here are some tax tips. OPEC cuts oil demand forecast, sees growing economic uncertainty on Trump trade war. How Vietnam became China's side door. Why Trump's nuclear talks with Iran could be more successful than Biden. Our mortgage payment. Yeah, where are mortgage payments at? I'm curious on that. They're a pot. Rates are holding steady after rapidly rising. That goes back to that bond rate. The higher the 10-year bond goes, mortgages, they're going up. Those mortgage rates surge above 7% as tariffs hit bond market. Yep. That's still dirt. That's tricky. That's tricky. Scalpers did fine. I mean, on that break right there, scalpers had plenty of opportunity to scalp out. But if you're looking for a bigger breakout, you are probably stopped out now and somewhat irritated and disappointed. We have 10 minutes to get 4 more likes if the party is going to continue. We should be able to do it, but if you want the party to continue, we got to get this up over 100 likes. Tempted now for a short. I don't know. This isn't about to sucker me back in. Hey, Frank. Have I missed any? Will you grow cattle or sheep on your farm? Never say never. We got to prove to ourselves first that we can keep chickens alive. Clay, I usually trade only New York session. I tried around 10 p.m. Eastern last night and got my cheeks clapped. How could you let that happen to me? You know what? I'll take full blame. Sorry I was not there to hold your hand and slap it. Said, hey, get away. Last trade. Can you trade futures 24/7? That is part of Plan's plan. They're open around the clock to an extent. So they are closed on Saturdays. But other than that, they're open basically around the clock, yeah. They close every day. So like today, they'll close at 5 p.m. Eastern, and then they'll open back up at 6 p.m. So they'll close for 1 hour. Again, they'll close at 5 p.m. Eastern, open back up at 6 p.m. Eastern, and then they do that all the way until Friday at 5 p.m. they close, and then they open back up on Sunday at 6 p.m. So not quite 24/7, but pretty much around the clock, yeah. Well, I'm glad I didn't take that. I was thinking about getting short at that orange line. I guess it could still theoretically work, but should probably wait for it to come down through there. Why do they close 1 hour? I don't know. You're asking the wrong guy. See, here's just a bit of advice I'd say, Roberto. Never, ever, ever say last question. Never say that. Because you just said last question. Now you're asking me another question. Just never say that in life. And I'm talking to myself. Like, I found it, but whenever I say, okay, last question, and then I'm like, oh, wait, I said that like 14 questions ago. Are there certain times to trade futures for the best trade? No, everybody has their different opinion. Now, sometimes it's definitely faster than others, but that doesn't necessarily mean that it wouldn't be good for you. But even if things are slower, you can compensate for that by just increasing position size. Clay's replacing J. Powell. Yeah, I'm going to be the next Fed speaker. Yep. Is evening trading and night trading and Sunday trading the futures as smooth as daytime? It depends what's going on. Like I said, at some minute, there's going to be certain parts of when they're open where they're just a whole lot slower. But that, like I said, that can be because again, the movement and the ability to control it. Right here, yeah, maybe the movement is slower, but you have the ability to control it, and you can control it by just maybe adding in more contracts. Maybe instead of doing MNQ, maybe you just do 1 or 2 NQs. I don't know. I'm just saying that's part of the flexibility. So even if it does move slower, that doesn't mean that there's no tradable opportunities. Yeah, I'm sorry, sir. I just do not trust you as a trendline break here. I don't trust you. All right, the coffee's hitting me. I'll be back in just a minute. maybe the breakout's true. I still don't believe it. Still don't believe you. Hey, nice. We got up over 100 likes. Very good. Again, the overall goal is 125 likes. So if you have been enjoying and you have not hit that like button, please do so. And also hit the subscribe button. My subscribes, according to stats, have been on the struggle bus, which I assumed would be the reverse, given that I started a live stream. So I don't know if somehow the YouTube I don't know what's going on. I thought, like I said, I'd get more subscribers, and my subscribers are growing, but it's actually behind what's normal. So yes, if you hit the like button, also make sure hit that subscribe button. Clay, do you think futures are also affected by algo trading? Like, yeah, everything's affected by algo trading. But like that's not a reason to not do something. Like algos can't hide from a chart. Right? Okay. I want you to tell me what this algo's doing. Ready? Tell me what this algo's doing. So if this is 100, tell me what the algo is doing. Okay, what is that algo's job? Can anybody guess? What is that algorithm doing? Frank, you're way overthinking this. And Frank, did you join the mentorship program, Frank? Or are you one of those guys? Hopefully you're like, well, Clay, it looks like this algorithm is just selling at $100. Yeah, that's what I would say that's doing. It's just selling at 100. And it must be a big seller too, because the price is not getting up through there. Now you're never gonna know that. You're not gonna know if that's what the algorithm's doing, but to act like algorithms are some magical and mystical thing, they're not. Because algos are driven by capital. And, if you want to say that, okay, an algorithm just caused this or that, in the futures market, that means that there's a lot of capital that's being deployed. And if a lot of capital is being deployed, well, then they eventually want to, get rid of that capital. So it's not like an algorithm can just do whatever it wants. Because first, it's got to have enough capital to do that. And second, it's going to have to be able to do the reverse. So, example, if you're saying, well, an algo caused that breakout. Okay, well, then that means a ton of money was spent to buy. So now you have to think that, is the algorithm actually going to be able to sell all that they bought to create that? It's kind of like penny stocks, right? Somebody could show up in penny stocks and cause something to move like huge, like even with just $100,000. It's like, okay, that's cool. You manipulated a penny stock, but what good did that actually do the person that caused it to move? Like even if they're like, well, by doing that, they're going to create $70,000 of buying power. It's like, okay, well, but if they bought $100,000 and they're only able to sell 70, they're still $30,000 in the hole, holding the bag. So, again, I would just say that algorithms get way too much press. Algorithms get way too much blame for things that don't actually matter. Did you get long in that trade? Roberto, have you seen these numbers fluctuating at all? That'll answer that question. If I'm in or have been in a trade, one of those numbers will begin to fluctuate. That's how the screen's working. And I just say that, Roberto, because I would encourage you, this should be the platform that you'll want to use. I stay away from penny stocks, only futures. And the best bank, yes, yeah, penny stocks are a joke. Like I don't even think people trade penny stocks anymore. Been long the 15 minute. Don't lie. I've been long or you've been long the 15 minute? Well, I will say, okay, I think this has done its. But this right here does seem to be definitely the key area of resistance now. Right at that area. Me called it out. Cool. Good job. Well, the range traders are probably, and maybe I should be getting short here too. Looking at a tight little stop up. Again, low probability trade. But if I'm right. There we go. Let's see if we can get this thing to roll down some. There we go. Let's make this a winning trade. There we go. Going to move my stop as it goes. Come on. There we go. So quick little scalp on that one. So right there, I took a trade, Roberto, because hopefully you notice that these numbers down there were fluctuating. So there was a quick little scalp trade. Yes, I was very aggressive, very tight with the stop, but like I said, I was just scalping, and if it wanted all of a sudden poof for me, that would have been an even better payday. But yeah, this is like I said, the range traders are all probably short right now because they're thinking, okay, this looks like the top of the range. Down here is the bottom of the range. So they're thinking I can have a tight little stop, but if this thing comes down here, I mean, that risk or that reward box is much bigger than anything being risked. So they're looking at me like, hey, moron, why did you scalp? Why don't you let the range play out? And that's fine. The thing is, if it goes like this, I'm going to be saying, hey, morons, why didn't you scalp? Why were you looking for all that? No, I wouldn't say that because, and I'm saying all that jokingly, right? It's always easy to say in hindsight which strategy was better. That's why we're all super rich in our hindsight accounts. NQ is 60%, 62% long right now. So does that mean you go short? Yeah, the ES 5 minute, you can see right here. That thing got just flat out rejected by the 21 EMA right there. So that was the ES. Do you look for price and volume divert? No. Well, I mean, it depends on the strategy. All right, well, we got ourselves a little... So if we just use a purple line as our trend line itself, purple line being the 50 period moving average, so if we go like this, and then we do this as a lower part, and then we do this, we do technically, and let me put the golf hole down here, we do technically have a little bit of a bull pennant pattern. So if you are a believer in the bull pennant, here you go. If you're a believer that this thing is going to find some legs and get another leg through the upside, put the question mark there. I always forget. If somebody logs on, I don't want them to be like, you said it was going to do that. I saw the arrow. It's like, fair enough. That's why let me put the question mark in there because nothing's ever guaranteed. You just got to throw out questions. Noor, I don't know, man. You got to figure out what works best for you. You got to figure out what works best for you. I could give you an answer, and that doesn't mean anything. All I'll say is I would say at least have the 5 minutes somewhere within your strategy. But I use multiple time frame analysis, and you need to do that too. So I would say minimum the 5 minute because most people in the world use the 5 minute so you can get some self-fulfilling prophecies. But other than that, I don't know. I have no answers other than you got to figure out what works best for you. Because I'm not you, you are not me. We have different risk tolerances. You may think that skydiving is the greatest thing ever, and in my opinion, that sounds horrifying. Does that mean that I'm right and you're wrong? No, it just means we have different risk tolerances. I know. The sales pitch, easy sales pitch. Hey, use my strategy. Look, it works for me. Okay, that's great. It works for you. That doesn't mean it's going to work for anybody else. But I get it. If you're just trying to sell something very easily, that's the way to go about it. My sales pitch is I can teach you the tools, but you still got to put in work to take those tools and build something that works for you because I'm not you. That makes my life a little bit harder as a salesman, but it's the honest answer. It's how trading actually works. All right. I'm sure there's some bears that are like, dude, I don't trust that bull. I mean, I trust a bull pennant, but I think this thing's going to fail miserably to the downside. That's also a possibility too. And they may be right here. Well, look at that purple line. Power of charts. Boom. Right, rejected it down. The power of charts. So yes, as of now, we're looking at just basically a breakdown. And if it does get, oh, that was a terrible lineup. But I can see the price now headed back down to there. Looks like a bear flag on the 5-minute. Yeah, the 5-minute's definitely is got that going on. Ooh, oh, that's some spice. Oh, that's doing the shorts dirty. You better come back down. That's doing the shorts dirty. That took that short to the downside. Thank you, M. Adele. Oh boy. Again, the shorts, they're watching that 50 period. Shorts, 50 period is their best friend right now. But they're probably saying some things under their breath that they wouldn't say in front of their grandma. Again, I would say they're still hanging in there. It's not like it's violated any of these areas of resistance, so I would assume their stops are still okay. But yeah, that was a rough move up. Like I said, they're looking over their shoulder right now. Is grandma around? Is mama around? Because I'm about to say some things I wouldn't say in front of them. I wouldn't say it's nasty yet. If this comes up here and actually takes him out, then yeah, that's rough. Nasty would be it takes him out and then does that. That's nasty. So I'm not saying it's nasty yet. Again, if it comes up and stops him out, yeah, that's pretty rough. But a move up takes him out and then goes down, that's where it gets nasty. I don't even know how to register it. I'm not sure what it... can you define it? What are you not sure how to register? All right. Okay, we still do have some bull pennant people out there that are potentially buying that bull pennant breakout. Do they get continuation? That's the question here. Can they get continuation of that move? Again, the golden goose break at this point is up there at the 900 mark. But my point right now is before you really put any attention on that, the price has first got to prove it's able to get above that purple line right there. No, I will say this. What could be nasty is if shorts did have their stop above that 50 period, and they've now been taken out. But now if this thing just plummets, they're not going to be happy. They're going to be on tilt watch, like high probabilities of going on tilt. But you got to think a bunch of shorts have their stops above 900. So if it can push up through there, I could see a quick spike. Now, does the spike last or not? It's another question, but I think at this point, it's more than valid to think that quite a few shorts now have their stops above that area. It's a very evident area. TPT Frank, only if there is a way where you could go and figure that sort of stuff out. Only if there is a way. Only if there is a guy that gave you a suggestion. Only if. So what we do have now is actually just an overall bear pennant. So when I say overall, I mean, let me try to, there we go. So we have this being the resistance, this being, and then this started right here. So big picture-wise, I mean, factoring in the pattern, just, for you golfers, let me put the golfle up here. So an upside down pennant, which is a bear pennant. So that's the overarching pattern. Now, you may not care about this at all because your strategy doesn't necessarily factor that all in. But from the grand scheme of it all, we're looking at a big old bear flag. So for day traders that are willing to hold for significant amounts of time, they could be looking there, and they'll wait for the next hour for potentially this thing to make a big move down and make it a big payday. So we'll see, though. Now, you could also argue, Clay, I see an ascending triangle here. Hey, yeah, that's true, too. That's where it all kind of depends on what kind of time frame perspective you're looking at. But there is an ascending triangle. In the nearer term, when we zoom in, ascending triangle, which is bullish. So, again, no guarantees, but I would not call you crazy if you think that this thing's going to break and then get some movement. Because with some good, solid movement, no guarantees, but, you're looking at a potential price target until VWAP up there. Again, just because it breaks does not mean it's going straight up that level. I'm just talking out loud and just looking at the chart. So we'll see if the ascending triangle does want to try to... It's good in India. Yeah. Pam's plant, what I'm doing here, you can do in India. That's why I'm loving Take Profit Trader as a prop firm, because now I finally have somebody that I can tell people from. England, Canada, Australia, and India. I always get people asking, hey, I'm in this country. How do I trade the U.S. markets? And there's never really been a good answer. But now I can just say, hey, trade futures. And with this broker, Pam, or Take Profit Trader, they were open to you in India. So yes, you can do exactly what I'm doing here. The link at the top of the screen there, you see? It's also in the pinned at the top of the chat box. That by using their signing up, purchasing an account with them, they are open to people in India. All right, well, we'll zoom in here, but that is the pattern right now. It's holding strong. Holding strong so far. The ascending triangle, that area of resistance. What I could see myself doing, though, is if it wants to go sideways and then I could see myself taking a short here because, look, the stop loss is so tight, so close to it. Right now, if I'm getting short down here, well, my stop is still way up there. But if it can go sideways a little bit more and then break through, because of the rising nature of this line, my stop loss, my risk profile is getting smaller and smaller. So I'd like to see this go sideways a couple more and then come down. And I'd be willing to take that trade. But right now, like I said, if it comes all the way down here, I'm just talking for myself. I'm not liking that. I'm not liking short there because with the stop. Now, maybe you see somewhere else where you're like, oh, no, the stop is valid somewhere else. Okay, fine. But like I said, stay up above this line. Give me a few more candles and then break down. And give me that tight, small little risk profile. I suppose I could get short on the trend line now and just put a stop above the purple line, but that seems a little too tight. All right, we got the bear pennant people. They're watching. Some of them are probably getting ready to pull that trigger. Again, if you're enjoying the commentary, you're enjoying the live stream, hit that like button. We've been stuck at 105 for a while now. Hit that like button. It helps. All right, there it is. Is anybody short now? Like I said, I gave my reasoning why I didn't really like that, but I'm also well aware that I'm not the be-all, end-all, so people are obviously more than okay to disagree. Anybody take that? Is anybody short right now? Oh, there's the breakdown. First profit target, I'd say, probably that orange line right there. All right. So those people that now the scalpers are probably already have a green trade, but the ones that are looking for more movement, I would assume that's probably like their first profit target area. So it's getting close for them to hit that profit target. Man, the likes didn't even budge. Savages. We got some savages up in here. KX took the scalp, and he is out. So we'll see if KX is going to regret this or not. Because if this thing just completely collapses, he's going to be like, man, I wish I didn't do that. No, there's no consistency rule in the pro account. But you need to first get to the pro account. There is a 50% consistency rule in the test phase, but it's very easy. Whatever your profit target is, you're not allowed to make more than 50% of that amount. Waiting after it goes up like 1900s, then short on any pullback. Gotcha. So some people, I think, are probably still waiting for their price target to get hit because it hasn't quite hit that orange line, depending on how kind of picky they are. Maybe those people are like, close enough. Please, about MSTZ. What about are you a day trader? Like MSTZ from what angle? Day trading angle? Or what? There it is. That orange line's been hit. So I'd assume those people have at least pulled some profits out, and then now they have their stop loss. I would assume it probably break even, if not even a little bit in the green. So congratulations to anybody that took that short and is letting the thing work for you. Next target, I would say, is the overnight low, which is that pink line down there. Well, Do you think become better? I pay $11. Where's your stop loss at? On MSTZ, where's your stop loss? Let's start there. You bought 11, you got it at $11. Where's your stop loss at? This one I don't know. This is just obviously hindsight, but man, these ones like I should have just chased it down. All I'm saying is that, and I scalp too, but like you'll have those moments where you choose to scalp, and then you're like, wow, I could have made like $5,000 more had I not scalped. I'm just saying that voice shows up, which is true, but it's also just a hindsight thing because if the price snaps back against you, then you and I are like, man, I'm glad I scalped, whereas other people are like, I probably should have just scalped. So I'm saying that tongue in cheek. I would pronounce but you have no, well, I think that is a name, but I don't speak that language. I don't know what language that is. But on MSTZ, what's your stop loss at? Let's take a look at MSTZ here. See what this, Mahid, what is your stop loss at? I don't think I typed in the wrong one thing. MSTZ. Uh-oh. Oh, boy. He said he got it at 11. It's down here at 8. What's your stop loss at, Majid? I'm not stop. I pay 1,000 stock. You're not using a stop. Well, then you need to get out of the position and learn how to trade. You're acting like a madman. You're not using any risk management. That's the best thing you could do. You don't know what you're doing if you're not using a stop. You got to get out, man. You don't know what you're doing. That's my opinion. This is for entertainment. I would say you're playing very risky. I would say you're kind of acting like a degenerate gambler. Got to manage risk. Right now, if you're not using a stop, you're not managing risk. That's rough, though. You got in here at the $11 mark. It's now all the way down here. Whew. Got to use stops. Got to use stops. Got to manage that risk. Well, the back test right off that line right now. All right, we got 12 minutes. We need to at least hit some sort of goal. So if this is going to go beyond the 2.5 hour mark, we need to have this thing at least up at 115 likes. So we have 11 minutes to get 8 likes. So if you have not hit the like button and you want the party to continue, make sure you hit that like button. And we'll keep the party going. All right, I am interested in potentially getting long down here. Let's see here. I'm in for just one. I'm not opposed to getting some more because I have a hard line stop right there. So this could turn out to be a very nice green if I'm able to build and get the move, or it'll be a sizable red. But that's okay. With my live stream account here, I'm willing to... Okay, I got that one. So I've got 2 of them now. Two contracts, that is. At this point, I'm just going to put this stop down there. I don't know. Yeah. I don't know why it's not budging and really doing anything. Take one off there if it can push up to that red line right there. So it's either going to bounce off the overnight low or it's not and taking me out. It's a very simple premise right now. Yeah, I'm going to move that up some more. There we go. Again, blue line is my average price, so still in the red. But like I said, it's very straightforward. Is this thing going to bounce off the overnight low or is it not? If it doesn't, I'm out. M. Adele, I don't... Oh, maybe you must be speaking to that other person because I don't know what you just wrote. What should I use to practice trading futures, aka paper trading? Tradeovate has a platform, and Tradeovate is what you're watching right here. There's a limit. They only give you access for like a couple of weeks. So looking nice right now. It's just a question of, does this want to actually keep on bouncing, or is it going to come down through? Not looking so good, but still hasn't really done anything wrong per se. Again, it really doesn't get any more simple of a premise than this. Am I going to get some sort of bounce off the overnight low, or am I not? If I'm not, then I'm out, and so be it. If I do, well then let's see what I can do with it. Right now, not looking. There we go. Out. Whoa! What in the world? What happened? What was that? Did everybody? Oh, is there? What was it at? What is at one? Some news just came out. Some news just came out. Like what? How was I even short at one? Did I? Oh my! Was that my? I don't even know. I got short one that. There is a news. It's 1 o'clock, so there must have been some sort of news. Let me check the chat room. I wasn't aware of any sort of. What's 1 o'clock? Fed Waller speaks. Well, it just started. He didn't even say anything yet. Well, and then the platform froze up. That was amazing. Well, that's why I'm glad I'm using this account here. That was pretty wild. Hey, on the bright side, at least we're up over 115. Let's get 9 more. Let's hit the goal for the day, which was 125. And yeah, that's huge slippage on the stop. That was massive slippage on the stop. Well, what was confusing was it stopped me out here. I was long. It stopped me out, but then it said I was short. I don't know how I got short one. So I don't know what happened with that. Right, I was long, I got stopped out, but then I was short. And the short, I think, is what caused the bigger loss. Because for a moment, I don't know, I'll have to scroll back. I could have sworn it said I was short all of a sudden one. Yeah, but me being long, that was not a lot of slippage. My stop was like slightly below here on the long side. That shouldn't have been a $200 loss. Okay, I'm not crazy. Like I don't know how I got short down there and then for it to spike up like that. Did something like that happen to you, Strand? Again, I that's what I like doing this. I can go back and relook, but I could have sworn that I had a stop loss for 2, which means that little movement down there should have knocked me out from the long side. But then all of a sudden it said I was short 1. But then all of a sudden it was like, it opened back. I don't know. I guess shame on me for not realizing that there was going to be news. But at the same time, I didn't think that usually those moments don't do that. So I'm just looking at some email things right now. Yeah, this is what I'm realizing right now is that this is. I'm glad that I do these live stream accounts. Again, if you've just logged in, I use prop firms, and the nice thing about prop firms is that you can have multiple accounts, and I've learned now over the months of doing this that if I just have an account that, I mean, yeah, I do care about it, but like I don't care about it that much. But right now, if this was like one of my pro accounts or a test account that I was close to passing and something like that happened, I'd be on like massive tilt warning right now. Like the sirens would be blaring. But yeah, I'm still a little annoyed because as far as I can tell, I kind of just got waxed right there. But I'm also like, okay, whatever. It's just the live stream account. So I think this is a good lesson for me. Like I got for my psyche figured out. Like, this is a better way to go about it. But you had to sell one contract to take one off. You had to sell. Oh! NR, you are right. You're right. That's what happened. Thank you, NR. Okay. I did not get waxed. Well, I got waxed in the sense of the platform just completely froze up and then shot upwards. But it did get me short, and I did want to get short. Thank you, NR. You're right. I forgot. I had that take profit out there. That's the one that took me short. And then because it just spiked up, I just got roasted. So that does make me, not that I was upset as I was just explaining, but okay. Thank you, NR. That's what happened. Oh, I think Frank was just telling me the same thing. Yeah. Thank you, Frank. You're right. Thank you, Frank and NR. Yeah, there was a speech. Somebody just started to give a speech. I don't know why My Trader 8 and TSX froze. Yeah. But I mean, that's such a, I mean, if people had like buy orders up there that were still trying to play that ascending triangle, I mean, that move filled them and then just flushed on that. That was just a brutal move for everybody. Again, if people had a buy stop, like I only want to buy unless it clears through these highs, they got filled on that nuts move, and then they just got dumped all over. Man, that move smacked all sorts of people around. I think everybody in the world is saying the market is out to get me. It froze for me too. Was that the exchange halt? No, it wasn't halting. It's just I think I don't know. I'm not even gonna pretend to know like that. I actually understood every single thing. All right, just enough of a heads up here. We're at 2.5 hours. I'll add on another 15 minutes, and we'll make this a 3-hour stream. But in the next 15 minutes, we've got to get this up to 135 likes or $20 in super chat. So we'll go 3 hours, but like I said, next 15 minutes, let's get 12 more likes, and I'll keep the party going. But I just want to make sure that people are still interested. So a way to communicate your interest is via that like button, or again, we'll do $10 in super chat. $15 in super chats. Just don't trade 1 minute before, during, and after. And well, Ravshan, I get it. You're not wrong, but you said after important news. These Fed people speak all the time, and if it's Powell, fine. But there's always Fed speaker speaking. So I was not aware that was going to be important news and create that sort of spike. Now, if it was Powell and I was in a trade and I get stuck, it's like, yeah, dude, that was totally your fault. Like, and not to mention, it happened before the speech even started. It happened immediately when the speech is supposed to start. So, I mean, you're not wrong, but after any important news, to be fair to Ravshan, maybe you knew that Waller. I don't even know who Waller is. Maybe you knew that the Waller speech was going to be important and create that sort of movement. I did not know that. I was not aware that that particular speaker was going to do that. Again, if it was Paul, fine. That's like the obvious one. That is a market maker trick. No, it's not. No, it's not. It's just that there's nobody sitting in a cubicle that's like, all right, we're going to do. No, it's just because, again, it goes back to, yeah, okay, do you know how much capital is required? Look at all those contracts. Do you know how many contracts that would be for market makers to do that? Well, now these market makers, I mean, they're all roasted. So, Mark Elliott, it would have to be and maybe you're joking, but like for the people that are like, oh, that was the market makers. Well, think about it. In order for the market makers to take it from here all the way up to there, that required a bunch of volume, which would have all been buying volume. Now all those market makers, what are they at? They're underwater. Because it's dropped all the way back down there. So I'm not sure of any market maker that's like, let's just load up and create an explosion just to have it dump in our face. And then for all these contracts that it was required for us to buy to create the move, let's now go underwater. Let's go into the red on all those contracts. I just did, BK Dot. I just did. And all those people that bought and created the spike, a lot of them are now underwater. So if it's your contention that there was some group that just loaded up on thousands of contracts, okay, well, now those people are underwater on thousands of contracts. It goes back to my example. It's like, let me show up with, $1 million and go buy a penny stock. Oh yeah, you're gonna create a huge move in that penny stock. But let's say that huge move you create with $1 million generates $700,000 worth of exit liquidity, meaning you can use that $700,000 to exit out of your position. Do you see the problem here? You spend $1 million to create $700,000 in liquidity. You're still down $300,000. So that's where the whole, it's the market makers this. No, it's not. It's just there is no group out there. It's same with they're stop loss hunting. Who is they? And how come I've been in many situations where my stop loss has been hit but has not filled me, and then it goes in my favor? Like, why didn't the stop loss hunters take out my stop? It was literally right there. All the algorithm and the market makers, that's just a hindsight confirmation bias. It's your brain playing tricks on you. Because you have a bias, the market makers are out to get you or people. So when they get you, they say, see? But in those moments where you have the stop and it gets super close to your stop but never hits it and then ultimately turns into a winning trade, you're never going to remember those ones. Your mind blocks those out. Why? Because it's not confirming your bias. But really, when the dust is up, we're still just stuck in this range. So if you are a range trader, you're loving it. This is so... yeah, I was just saying that, Matt. It is very choppy right now. What did I say we needed to get? 135 likes? I can't remember. We need 5 more likes in about 10 minutes, I think. So I think we can do that. Let's get 5 more likes. And this will be a 3 hours. We'll go 3 hours. Any experience using TradingView with TP? I hear that's not the greatest. I hear you're better to use. I mean, if you want to use TradingView for your charts, but I've heard that don't use TradingView to execute. You're better off just using Tradeovate to execute, but you can still use TradingView for your charts. I disagree. I don't like Ninja. Nice. Now we're pushing. We might as well go for 150 now. Let's just get up to 150. All right. Is this going to get some sort of break to the upside? But it is very choppy. Man. At least on the account that I care about. Which one's that? This one? No, not that one. There we go. So this one had a very good day on, and that's the one, like I said, I'm about halfway to passing. So once I get to halfway to passing, it's like, all right, I don't know if I want to goof around. Not that I'm goofing around, but I want to stay laser focused on that. And it's hard. It is hard to stay laser focused live streaming and trading. I'll admit that. It's a bizarre thing. But yeah, so that account's looking good. This one was looking good until the Waller spike. None. This is the only prop firm I've ever used. They came to me. It was recommended by a bunch of very good traders in my room that I trust, and yeah, I've never looked back. I've had multiple payouts, payments from them, and they're quick. You can request money whenever you want, in any amount, and that's significant because some prop firms, doesn't make them a scam, but some prop firms will be like, let's say you make 5,000. They're like, well, yeah, you made 5,000 today, but you're not allowed to request any money until like 10 days from now, and even 10 days from now. Of the 5,000, you can only request 2,000. Again, that doesn't make them a scam. That they pay and all that sort of stuff. But with Take Profit Trader, they're like, hey, if you made 5,000, you can request that money whenever you want, and you can request it in whatever amount you want. So if you want all 5,000, well, then just request it. So that's where Take Profit Trader, I would say, has the edge over a lot of other prop firms out there. Hate Ninja. Yeah. That's why. Yeah, Ken. Yup. I'm curious to see how mine goes tomorrow with the 150,000 I just passed. They're getting slammed. Some community member was like, "Yeah, mine got approved." I'm like, "When?" They're like Friday, like late night. I'm thinking, "Wow, they are working Friday late nights now. They are trying to catch up." Take Profit Trader. They have exploded in popularity because they just made a rule change about their daily loss rule, and then after that, I mean, they have, like I said, their payment policy. Their rules are very straightforward. Their rules are very clean. They have the great payment policy, but now they're going through growing pains. So you will have to be a little bit more patient when working with them. Like I said, I just got paid last week and it was fine. So it's not like it's just, and I do have, I don't want to say it like I've never talked to the CEO. I don't have direct contact to the CEO, but I have some contact with people because with the affiliate and stuff like that. And I don't want to say I've yelled at them, but I've said, hey, like, what's going on? I tell people to go to your site, and they're like, yeah, I know, we're sorry. Or in fact, do I still have that email? Let me see if I can bring that up. There we go. Let me make sure that... Oops. I'll just take a screenshot of what I... I think that'll just make my life a little easier. Let's see. So right here, this was the data on this was April 1st, and I will note. I will say I've noticed some improvements since then. Hey, Clays, thanks for reaching out and bringing this to our attention. Again, this being, hey, what's going on with the customer service issue? It seems you guys are not as fast as normal. We have already added a few people to the team and have more additions in the weeks to come. However, it does take time to get support agents up to speed, which, I mean, that's valid. You can't, just because you hire somebody doesn't mean that person knows what they're doing and everything. We appreciate your patience in dealing with this. So that is, that's the scoop there. And I will say, for a while, it was like the live chat, like you just wouldn't get a reply back. But I've now had a couple replies back. Granted, they're not super fast like they used to be. But I have started to get replies back, so it seems to be trending in the right direction. Is TPT an American company? Yep, they're an American company. So right now it seems as though, I wonder what that line's from. I don't remember, but we're going to move that right here because that seems to be the near-term resistance. I mean, at this point, I should just get an NQ and see if we can make the comeback. Again, this is my live stream account, so if it dies, it dies. We'll do that. We'll see if we can play this breakout. I mean, it's not a good trade. Is this necessarily the smartest thing to do? Probably not, but The Strand. They're on Better Business Bureau too, which gave some comfort even when their live chat took. Yeah. I mean, they're. Just turn my head for a second. Okay, in. So I either just bought a fake breakout and this thing's going to snap back against me and I'm roasted, or let's see if we can get some follow through here. Oh, still red. This is hard action for me. Like, I think most traders, I don't want to speak for everybody, but I think we're going to have some moments where we need to kind of decompress from how it's been the past, let's call it, I mean, really the past almost couple months, but like the past week and a half, things have been so crazy that this feels like the worst breakout ever. Like, it feels like it's barely not even moving. It's not even doing anything. It is. Per normal standards, this is good. I should still be in this. I mean, it's breaking out. It's kind of slowly, but my brain has been like, I'm used to you get the breakout and a boom, it moves a bunch. So the fact that it wasn't doing that had me like, is something wrong? But no, I've just been kind of, so that's something that I'm going to have to work at, unless Trump tweets something again and we go back to how it was last week. But right now, maybe the markets are finally settling down to like where things kind of get back to moving normally. Is the test 5 days out of 5, or is it best out of? No, it's got to go at least 5 days. So you could pass theoretically in 2 days, and then you have to do 3 flip days, which is what I showed an example of earlier. But yeah, no, it's at least 5 days. I don't know what you mean by best of best out of 10. No, it's not that, because I don't even know what you're referring to with that. But yeah, it's got to go minimum 5 days. You could pass in 2 theoretically, but then you just have still 3 flip days. But you can take as long as you want to pass. Erie Pages, I think you just need to just join my program, man. You're asking so many questions. Like, just join the program. Join the community. Here, I'll send you a link. So I do offer a private community right here if anybody's interested in joining. I'm specifically pointing this towards Erie. Join that. Or are you one of these freeloader folk where you'll milk somebody as dry as you can, but as soon as they're like, "Hey, why don't you join this?" You're like, "You little capitalist scumbag." I'm kidding. I don't think you're one of those people. We were stuck at 137 likes. Let's get this up to 150. I might even go beyond 3 hours. Last week I did a couple of 3.5 hour ones. Oh yeah, see what I mean? That's exactly what I said. That breakout was doing everything just fine, and right up that level, but I've been scarred. Well, I don't want to speak for everybody, but man, I got so used to last week. Like last week, this movement here would have been like a 150 point move. I mean, right now it's still about 50 points. That's good. That's really good. Wow. And then somebody's like, "Oh yeah, I'm taking away a like." So from 137 down to 136. Okay. That's why we got it. That's why we have the JJ rule. There's always JJs. Right there, right to that level. Bought the breakout, got the move, never did anything wrong. It just didn't move as quick as what I thought it should have. But what I thought I should have has certainly been corrupted over the past week. Theory of relativity. No, it's the recency effect right now. Or recency bias, whatever you want to call it. So we're at the top of this range. Is it short here with a stop right there? Or is this thing just going to keep working its way upwards? Everything is green on the SPY. Yep. ES is making a nice move up. Man, beautiful, beautiful break. If anybody joined me on that one, congratulations. Hopefully you traded it better than I did. It might retest view. I mean, maybe. Did you get your account yet, Roberto, or are you still armchair quarterbacking? Come on, Roberto. Ooh, this is tempting. Let's see how this candle closes. Let's see how the candle closes. Not the greatest. If it does come up here and pushes through, I'll try to capture it on the way back down. See if we can get a fake break of that area. But step one is it's got to get up through 928. So let's see if we can get up through 928. And then I'd be interested in a short on the way back down. See if we can get some sort of upper wick and then have it come down a bit. But maybe not. What? Maybe? What? I don't even know. Some people I don't understand. Like, you literally show them mathematically how what they're doing is dumb. And they're like, well, maybe I'll do it. Okay. And that's why I love Pam's plant. Because it's not like I have some sort of strong emotionally based opinion. No, it's mathematically based. So when I say you're wrong, I mean that like it makes no sense. And when I say it makes no sense, I mean that from a logical standpoint. Because that's what math is, right? Math is the backbone of logic. And like I showed out mathematically doesn't make any sense. And so we're like, well, maybe I'll do it. Okay. No, it has nothing to do with paper. The part that got me is not next week. It's you saying maybe. Like, why is there any sort of maybe? Like, I literally showed you it makes no sense. You have a ton of patience. My patience isn't the greatest when I see people doing things that, again, not like my opinion. Like, no, that like they literally don't make any sense. Like mathematically provable don't make any sense. And they're like, maybe I'll do it. It's like, okay. I'd be signed off by. I can't tell. Is this a revenge trade that I want to do right now, or does this make sense? I want to get short, thinking that this could be the top. It's stuck up here where it's been before. So, I mean, that area right there is basically where I could base my stop loss off of. But I don't know. Is this just really stupid? Am I upset still about the Waller pop? And I'm upset that I just botched that breakout trade so much? I don't know. Some of it may be the YouTube live voice, like get back to green, get back to green. Some of it for sure is the fact that this is my live stream account, so I don't really care if it gets blown up. But again, that still doesn't mean that I want to go out there and just act like a total degen. Don't you think you could have seen this move better on a 10-second time frame? I mean, maybe, but you could also be like, had it not worked out, Noor, then you'd be like, don't you think you're getting chopped up watching the 10-second time frame? I mean, yeah, I could have. For sure, I could have. But I could have just as easily be getting myself chopped up because a 10-second time frame can be a bit choppy. Are you doing it, Mark? If you're doing it, I'll do it with you. Put your money where your mouth is. Oh, now it's too late. Yep, there it was, 10 points. Now still? Yeah. Good call. Good call. That was 10 points. Yeah. Fair enough. Good call. I will buy down there, though. Back test of this breakout point. We'll try the back test. So we're going to buy for the back test and go. Come down here. Look for it to try to work its way back upwards. See if it wants to do that or not. No, a little bit below. So we'll see. Because right now we got a flag forming. So trying to buy kind of the bottom part of the flag here. If it wants to come down here. All right, well, I'll go beyond 3 hours, but let's get up. We need 12 more likes in the next about 8 minutes. So we'll make this a more than 3 hour stream, but again, we need to get these likes up to 150, make sure their interest is still out there. Okay, here it comes down. Needs to come down some more. Okay, come down just a little bit more. How did it not fill me? I'm out. Canceling that order out. Now it seems like if it's going to fill me, it's going to plunge right down through there. It hit the... I'm live streaming right now, comma. Not good on the live stream, comma. But the accounts I care about are green on the day. I'm live streaming right now. I'm live streaming right now. Goodness. Come on, Tim Cook. Get your Apple phones to work the right way. Now it's recording me yelling at Tim Cook. I got a buddy in real life that's also trading. Wondering how we were doing. I'm live streaming right now, comma. Not so good on the live stream, comma, but the accounts I care about look good. Yeah, I could have just texted it. You're right. I mean, that order came down and it hit my green line, but it just didn't fill me. All right, not looking like we're going to go beyond the 3 hour mark because we're still 10 likes away and only got 6 minutes. So, or I guess $15 in super chats if we can get a combination of that. Either 150 likes or... I don't remember what I just said. $10 in super chats. Short again. Go. What? I'm not shorting right here. If anything, I'm going long right here. Well, I guess I should have shorted right there, but you did say that was too late. How are you getting 20 points on these moves? I don't understand. Like, I don't know. Yeah, Mark is crushing it. And the likes have not budged. All right. Again, I'll just, if we want this to go beyond 3 hours, we got to get another 10 likes up to 150. If not, that's okay. I'll take that as a sign that people are good, and we'll call it good. But if you do want the stream to continue, I got to see if people are interested. So the only metrics I can think to use for people's interest are likes and super chats. So we need 8 more here in the next 4 minutes. 8 in 4 minutes or $10 in super chat. Oh, nice bounce off that area. Good thing you scalped, Mark. Yeah, I don't know how you're getting 20 points in these moves. That's crazy. Oh, maybe we can do it. 6 more likes. 6 more likes in about 3.5 minutes. I guess maybe there's a chance. I don't know. Again, 6 more likes. We'll keep the party going. We'll go beyond the 3-hour mark. Let's see if people are interested. 5 more likes. Oh, maybe we got a chance. Maybe I waved the white flag a little too soon here. 5 more likes. 4 more likes. We're making a push. Kind of like watching a breakout almost. Can we get 4 more? 4 more in 3 minutes. If you want the party to continue, hit that like button. I'll keep it going. Oh, wow. 1 more like. Where did those come? All right. Well, I think the party's going to continue. Well, we need 2 more for the JJ effect. Because there's always a... see, the JJ just showed up. We just dropped down to 148. That's what I mean. There's always a JJ. A lot of JJs. They're yelling at their mom right now. Their mom's in the, their mom's basement. They need meatloaf. Ma, I need meatloaf. Always the JJs. Exactly. Ma, the meatloaf. All right, 2 minutes. Need 2 more. Put us at 151 so we can buffer out the JJ. The JJs. There it is, 150. Need 1 more. Need 1 more. There it is. The party will continue. Wow, I did not see that coming. I thought the stream was a dead man walking. What a push. What a push. All right, all right. I do like buying long if this thing wants to come back down, mainly based on the 5-minute. That's a nice little candle right there. So I am interested in going long if it wants to pull back a bit. And I am going to have to put these on. My eyes are starting to feel it. So the blue light glasses are on. Last week I did a couple of these with the whole stream. What platform am I using? Well, that's a twofold. Number one, I am doing a prop firm, which is definitely the smartest way to day trade, through a prop firm. So what I'm doing is this. If you want to do exactly what I'm doing, the link at the top of the page there will take you to this site. And the first thing you're going to want to do is pick out your purchasing power. After you pick out your purchasing power, then during the checkout phase, it's going to ask you what platform do you want to use. And what you see here and what I'm using is Tradeovate. Now, the nice thing here is that they will sign up and create the account for you. So it's not like you have to go to Tradeovate now and go through the sign up process there and do all that. None of that. You get to save all that hassle because Take Profit Trader, who again is the prop firm that I'm using, they will do all that for you, and then they'll just send you the login information. So twofold on the question: what platform I'm using? Take Profit Trader as the prop firm itself. Again, the link that's pinned at the top of the chat or just on your screen there. And if you want these promotions and you want to support the channel, use code CLAY. And then after that, make sure during the checkout process to select Tradeovate. So hopefully that helps. See, that's why we got to go 151. We had another JJ show up, took away their likes. Always JJs. The world is filled, I shouldn't say the world is filled with JJs, because the vast majority of people that have come on the live stream have been totally cool, normal, good people. Short Clay. Are you doing this? This is not working because you're a 3-second delay. I don't see how I could get a 10-point short snipe right here. See right there, boom, I'm roasted. Yeah, like I said, this is my my blue light glasses. I made it over 3 hours, but I could start to feel it in my eyes. My head, I was starting to get a headache. Did it take you long to become familiar with the Tradeovate software? No. Plus, there's I have a video that walks you through how I set it up. Like it starts at Take Profit Trader, goes through the process, and then shows you, okay, now this is how I set up Tradeovate. So if you look at my site, there's a video for that. Thanks. What strategy are you using? My strategy, which will not be your strategy. But to talk about it broadly, I'm a day trader, mainly a scalper, but I do day trading too. Strategies that I'm not totally scalping. But beyond that, you got to figure out what works best for you. I know people like sell strategies and all. You got to figure out what works for you. So the strategy I'm using is I am a day trader in the world of futures through a prop firm. I scalp, but beyond that, I don't know. You're going to have to figure out what works best for your mind. I'm going to just do one here because you're going to reverse. Is that a distraction? I don't think most people are looking at me anyways. I wonder though, is the reflection of my glasses a distraction? But I don't think people are usually watching me. I think they're probably watching the screen most of the time. All right. I will build some of this one from the long side. It needs to come down a little bit more. Yeah, we are definitely back to more so normal times. Oh, okay. Okay, Mark says I should short for like a 10-point scalp. Okay. Okay, going for a 10-point scalp here, Mark. Now, if it works, Mark will say, see, I told you so. If it doesn't work, Mark's going to say, no, I wasn't talking about that one. Yeah, see what I mean? It already worked. Okay. Mark, you do know there's like a 5-second delay here, right? So you can play these games all day long. Call out numbers beforehand. You just like, do it now. It's like, now for me is not now for you. I don't see any numbers. Oh, you did say a number. If it breaks below 860, I correct myself. Yeah, no, you did. You did. Like I said, I'm eating my words on that one. I think that bottom tail communicates that it might be difficult to short here. I think you might be right. No, you don't have to apologize. Once come back down, I'll add one here. Again, this is my streaming account, so you have to take that with a grain of salt. I'm not. I can move that up some now. There's my stop up there. Like I said, if one's come down, I'll add another one, but that'll be. Come on, Mark. You told me to go short. Just you'll get your 20 points. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I still think I think that's garbage. Like, yeah, I'm not sure. What did you say? How to short at 60? Yeah, that's wild trading, dude. That's wild. To try to go 10 points with all these lower shadows. Pot roast instead of meatloaf, exactly. Then short, Mark. There's no point in doing that because there's a delay. There's a delay. So it's just like, okay, good. There's no need to tell us what you're doing here because by the time we all see it, everything's been passed. What's my drawdown even at now for this one? I got $1,000 left. Okay, I bought one to go long. I'm trading the NQ. I don't know how many points I got on that one, but there we go. It's amazing what happens when you go long at areas of support, not short like I did. And isn't that weird how that works out? When you buy at long at shorts, it works. When you go short at areas of support, who knew that it could bounce on you? So I learned a lesson there. I'm not trading based off what people in the chat tell me. Because it's worthless when there's a... Not that I would do that anyways, but... Who knew? So this last move was a good short, Clay. No. That would have been a bad short. If I had gotten short again, that'd be like a... I'd be in pain. I went long there. Looked like a short moving. Okay, Roberto, well, you would have been, I guess I don't know if you would have been a losing trade, but probably would have been on zero DT options. If you're when I got in, you're like, looks like a short. Yeah, that would have been rough. What was our record? Our record is 170. I don't know. Maybe. If you have not hit the like, maybe we can do a new live stream record. Get this up to 170 likes. That'd be cool. I feel like I'm so close yet so far away with passing this test. I'm trying to still not take big risks. I mean, I hate to do this stuff but when I see the same people kind of struggling, it's like, I know, because it really does upset some people. Some people are so angry. But like, I do offer a training program. If anybody that's looking for like some structured learning, not looking for a magic pill. There's no magic pills, but just as an FYI, I mean, I know a lot of people are like, why would I do that? I'll just keep buying prop firms. Fair enough. But there does reach a point where you've blown up 100 prop firms and you're $5,000 into prop firms when you could have maybe learned way back when. So just something to consider, Evil Shadex. Something to consider. What happens if we cannot pass the test phase, but also not... Well, then you just keep getting hit with a monthly fee. Because in this phase, you can go as long as you want. In the test phase here, you can take as long as you want. But during this phase, that is per month. So you can be here forever. You're just going to be paying 105 per month forever. That's why I say just get it passed in a month. And you're going to know within a month. Like it should not take you like multiple months to pass any of those tests because the sizing that they give you is appropriate to get it passed within a month. Oh, good, Evil Shaddix. Yeah. Maybe revisit some of it. Yeah, we are definitely back to kind of the afternoon chop right now. So I'm glad that this policy is back in, or I'm in place about just kind of the live stream account. $155 likes. Not bad. Not bad at all. Not bad at all. Yeah, Noor. I would just say try to definitely. I mean, I don't want anybody to rush to pass a test, but I will also say that the 1 month is still plenty of time to get the pass tests. But you don't want to spend like 5 months trying to get through the test phase because that's 5 times you pay that monthly amount. And it's just that's too slow. That's too slow. Again, I'm not saying you have to pass it within the 5 days because you got to go 5 days regardless. So I did a video just, I think, last week. The one, because I needed to slow down with the 150K accounts. It took me 18 days. Now, the one I just passed today, I passed it in 3. But the one, I was like, okay, Clay, let's just slow down. Let's calm down. It took me 18 days. So it took me definitely a long time, but it was still within a month. So, it's kind of give and take in that regard. Why pass more than one account? Is that strictly for YouTube purpose? Why pass? Why pass? Well, I mean, ideally in the perfect world, you want to have 5 passed accounts because then you can do copy trading. So that means that with 5 passed accounts in the pros, then you have 5 pro accounts. So if you copy trade them, meaning if you make $100 on one of those, but you copy it to your 4 other accounts, well, now you've made that one $100 trade 5 times. So instead of making $100, you actually just made $500. So that's why you would want to pass more than one account so that you can move into the copy trading game and experience that nuclear explosion growth. So that's why you would want to do that. You never talked about your nice cars, though. Yeah, I don't really have nice cars. I mean, I don't have terrible cars, but I got a tractor. I got a John Deere tractor. David Rodriguez, how long have you been trading live on YouTube for? I started live. The YouTube channel has been around since 2013. I started live streaming back in February. We're a little over 2 months now. I've seen your older content, but didn't know you trade live. No, I just started relatively recently, David. I should be passed by the end of this week. I want to pass with my strategy, not. Yeah, just keep slowly going, one day at a time, one day at a time. Check out USAR stock. Yeah, Denmer, why are you day trading Denmer? I want to see if he replies. Make sure he's not one of these pumpers that just shows up, drops something, and then leaves the live stream. I swear, good thing. Yes, good thing. All right. Wait a minute. We got a potential short here. Go big or go home. Yeah, I can, up at that. What is that? 5 minute. This stuff is all in just such low volume right now. You Green Acres in Michigan? No, I live in Iowa now. I bought a farm in Iowa. Don't live on it right now. We're going to build, but I got a farm. I don't farm it. A farmer farms it from me, but it's a farm. I bought a farm in Iowa. But don't move to Iowa. Iowa's a terrible state. Nobody moved to Iowa. There's traffic everywhere. Everybody's mean. There's no good scenery. So yeah, don't. It's a terrible place. Don't move here. I hear Florida's nice. I hear Arizona's nice. I hear California's beautiful. I hear Idaho is fantastic. Iowa, no, terrible, terrible. You would never want to move here. Yes, terrible drivers in Iowa. Don't know how to drive. Yeah. Oh no, Michigan's great. Move to Michigan. Go to Michigan. Michigan's fantastic. One of the best states for education. Well, we homeschool, but they do have very friendly homeschool laws. But no. Chris, in that statement, Iowa is a terrible place if you have kids. Yeah, if you have kids, definitely don't move to Iowa. Definitely don't move to Iowa. I mean, there's literally zero reason to move to Iowa. Florida's way better. Arizona's way better. California's way better. I hear Tennessee is great from what I hear. Yeah, we gotta take it to Adventureland. Oh no, Strand, you know that you love Florida. Florida's fantastic. We are right at that moving average. So trying to play a rejection off of why am I not seeing? Oh, there it is. All right, that was. I don't know if my platform. Maybe that's what it was. All right, I don't even know. I made some of that back. I don't know how much I made of it back, and then it comes down. Whoops. I will admit. What is it? Yeah. We'll go 3.5 hours. Just might as well. But I maybe you can tell. Maybe the enthusiasm has maybe dropped a little bit. But I am mentally dead. Like, I don't know how people on Twitch, like some of those guys go like 8 hours live stream. Well, some of those they're like video gamers, so they're not like talking the whole time. But man, yeah, so that's what I was trying to play right there. Just the rejection. I did get the rejection, but honestly, I don't even know what I was doing. Like I don't know. It's weird. Where were you in Michigan? Grand Rapids area. I grew up in Cedar Rapids well before I got busy there. Cedar Rapids, is that the northwest part? I think I've been through Cedar Rapids on the way up to South Dakota. America's largest, yeah, yep. We've gone by that the largest truck stop right there on 80. I got a speeding camera ticket in Cedar Rapids. Uh-oh. If you go before any of your stream, do you lose my... No, I don't lose likes. Nope. Thank you for asking, but nope, that's totally fine. Can we get 4 more likes? Can we get this up to 160? I mean, I'm pretty sure we're only 14 away. So I think the reason I'm willing to go another 10 minutes is just out of curiosity. Could we get this up to 170? So if you do enjoy, you've been enjoying, and I guess you want to be a part of a record-breaking stream, we're 13 away from that. But I am definitely done at 3.5. Like I said, I am mentally tapped out. So I think I've learned that 3.5 hours is basically the limit. And I don't think if I just sat here and like didn't talk and I just kind of did my own thing, I think that would be kind of boring. I don't know if people would really be okay with that. And I say that because like on Twitch, people are video gaming. Like they don't have to sit there and talk the whole time. I mean, some of them, but like some of it is just them playing the game and people are there to literally watch them play the game. But here I think people, and I don't know, maybe that would work. But I think people enjoy just hearing my thoughts, hearing the commentary, stuff like that. But I'm just curious, could we get up to the 170 mark? It is still right at that moving average. So is it going to get rejected back down? Again, no guarantees, but I would not call you crazy if if you got a short right here with the stop above that high. Wouldn't call you crazy at all. Again, doesn't mean it's guaranteed to happen. That's why risk management matters, but I would certainly not just think, and call you totally just a loony person for doing it. So that's kind of the main. We'll watch it now in the 2-minute time frame, but that's what's going on in the 5-minute. Yeah, well, that one is that who you brought, that strategy is insanity. Namely because of this right here. I get it. Small caps move fast. Fine. I'm not rejecting that up. But the amount of money that strategy requires and the amount of risk. And this is the whole part of Pam's plan. Add a risk control. Protect your money. Like in that strategy where that person is doing it. Yeah, I mean, the things move very quick. But the thing is, the things also move very quick against you. And unless you have a massive account like that person has, it's going to be hard because when you get in a move where it breaks, and then we'll just go right here. If you get in a move and it breaks, and again, this person's strategy, like it's not unreasonable to very, very quickly lose thousands of dollars, like poof. And in this situation, if you lose $4,500, yeah, you lost your account. Yeah, which you can always get back again for $100. But using the strategy that person's using, like, no, that's $4,500 of your money gone. Whereas in this situation, the only amount you would have actually lost is the cost of the account right there, $252. But then, yeah, also, as I pointed out earlier in the live stream, compared to small cap stocks, futures move way better than small cap stocks. But yes, that's I know, I get it. That's very alluring to people because those stocks do move very quickly. But to think that that's all your money at risk when you could have an insulated risk through a prop firm and just be in futures, which move better anyways. I think I think that's a very outdated strategy now. Again, I'm not saying it doesn't work I'm not saying it just doesn't work. I'm just saying from a risk management perspective, that blows up so many people's accounts and they don't get to survive it all because one little thing against them and they're like, oh man, there's a $3,000 gone of my money. Where in the prop firm world, it's like, okay, yeah, I lost $3,000, but that just means I failed the test. I blew up my account, but I only spent $150 for the account. So they still got, $2,850 left. So small cap trading is just, I think Pam's plan has made it irrelevant or it made it unwise. And then again, that's not my opinion. You can just easily mathematically prove that. Like I'll accept, yeah, those stocks move very quickly. Well, so do futures. So right now everything is equal. Both can move very quickly. But moving quickly in your favor, yes, both can make you a lot of money. Okay, everything's still equal. Both can also move very quickly against you. So now we're keeping things all equal, and this is where things get different. If it's your money, well then the money that you lost is, well, all your money. But in the prop firm world, yes, sure, maybe you lose your account, but the money actually out of your pocket that you lost is just the cost of the account itself. And we're still stuck at 158 likes. All right, not looking like we're going to hit 170, but can we at least get over 160? So yeah, I would say that day trading micro cap, small cap stocks makes zero sense. It's ridiculous. Again, mathematically speaking, not my opinion, but like I can mathematically prove it. And I sort of just did. So, like I said, all things being equal, small caps move very quick. Fine. So do futures. They move very quick. They both move very quick in your favor. You make the money. If they both go against you and a crazy move happens, especially in small caps, I mean, have them are pump and dump. So if you just happen to get stuck right before the rug pull happens or whatever, then thousands of dollars can disappear just like that. Same can happen in futures. I'm not rejecting that. But with the futures, if you paid $252 for this, purchasing power, yeah, and as something happens, boom, it goes down against you very quickly. Yes, if you lose more than 4,500, you fail the test. They take the account away from you, which again you can get for $100. But it's only costing you $250 because that's what you purchased the account for. But in the small cap world, if that same exact move, that same exact thing goes against you, same exact crazy move against you, and that's $4,500 gone, well, that was literally $4,500 of your own money. So that's what I mean by like mathematically prove, like just it doesn't make any sense. Why take on all that risk? Well, I'm glad I did not go short again because this thing just pushed up through that 50 period moving average. All right, well, just a couple final things here. I am offering this free webinar on Thursday, so I'd love to have you. I'll put the link right there. Sign up for it. Go over kind of how I build consistency, how I, the tools I'm using, a proper framework of approaching the market. Make sure that you're doing things in the right way. A lot of people show up and they think they're doing things that are smart, but actually aren't. So check out that link right there. And then if you want to join me and a lot of other really quality traders that are way better than I am, I do offer a private community. You can check out it at that link right there. And then if you want to implement Pam's plan, again, trading futures. Let me take a step back. Day trading futures, because that's what Pam's plan is for. Pam's plan is for day trading futures through a prop firm. But if you want to support the channel, then you can just use the link up at the top. Make sure you use code CLAY to, like I said, support the channel and make sure you get the current pricing promotions. Or you can just go to their website directly, which the link is pinned at the top part up there. But I'm going to go ahead and call it good. I am mentally dead. We got close to setting a record with 170 likes, but couldn't quite get there. But yeah, it was a rough day with the live stream account, but I will say that I'm happy with the accounts that I'm trying to pass. Oops, not that one. There we go. That one doing very well on it, and that account is getting closer and closer to being passed, so that's always a good thing. So, but everybody, thank you for being here, and like I said, check out those links. And if you have not yet, please hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. Turn on the notifications so that you can be notified when I'll be back. But no. That reminds me. I don't know about tomorrow. I'll probably put a message up. But I'm getting fiber internet tomorrow. Fiber came to my neighborhood a couple weeks ago, signed up for it, and tomorrow is our installation schedule. And they had between 9 and 11 a.m. Central. So I don't know. I'll be around some point because I totally want to give the fiber a try and see if just see how it goes for the live stream. But I may not be back right at the normal time. So just keep that in mind. I'll be around sometime tomorrow, but it may not be the normal time because I am getting fiber internet. It's cheaper than what I'm getting right now, and it's way faster, which is kind of just like crazy. But so that does remind me. So, but all other times besides tomorrow, usually I get on at the very latest 11 a.m. Eastern, sometimes sooner. So that's why I say to turn on the subscribe and notify so you're aware of those. So 162 likes, not bad at all. If I stayed on, I'm sure we could get up to 170. But like I said, I'm just burnt out. 3.5 hours. That's a lot of talking, but it's been fun. It's always fun to hang out. So take care, and I will see you.